evening, everyone. This is Sunday, August 2nd, 2026. This is the Libertarian National Committee. The time is 7:05, and I call this meeting to order. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
One second. I just want to make sure everyone can see my screen.
Begin.
Very good. All right. Mr. Koffel.
I am present.
Mr. Hirsch.
Here.
Mr. Danke.
Present.
Ms. Leatherman.
Here.
Mr. Flores.
Here.
Mr. Phillips.
Here.
Vice Chair Griffiths.
Present.
Mr. Hanoush.
Present.
Mr. Requero.
And sorry,
Present.
everyone, I was a bit late. I had Zoom problems.
Ms. Hayes.
Sorry about that.
Ms. Wigington.
Present.
Ms. Hogarth.
Here.
Mr. Bost.
Present.
Treasurer Neville.
Present.
Mr. Longstreth.
Excuse me, I am present.
Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin. Ms. Fintish.
Present.
I am present. Ms. Michaela.
Present.
Ms. Nguyen.
Here.
Mr. Redpath.
Yes.
Ms. Robson.
Here.
Ms. Englehart.
I am here.
Mr. Shaw.
Present.
Mr. Ford.
Here.
Mr. Thompson.
Present.
Mr. McMahon. Pardon me, Chair McMahon.
I was muted. Sorry, present.
Thought you were really angry.
How dare
Chair
you call
McMahon.
me?
Mr. Chair, we have a single absence. Other than that, we have perfect attendance.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. That's 18 voting members. Okay, we will open it up for public comment, 2 minutes per person. Madam Secretary, can you keep, or Madam Vice Chair, can you keep time?
I will, but I'm angry that you call me Madam Secretary.
How do you know I wasn't misgendering?
That's
McKean?
quite possible. Now we're both angry.
Mr. Phillies. You're muted, Mr. Phillies.
Try a different, there we go.
There you go.
Mr. Chairman and honored members of the LNC, mindful that we have embarked on a new route, I call to your attention that the United States has 2 associated commonwealths, 4.5 populated territories, at least 1 state that, as it happens, does not have an affiliate at the moment. And I would propose that the LNC should authorize the affiliate support committee to support individual libertarians in those places that we do not currently have an affiliate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Phillies. Mr. Plonka.
Hello. I just want to quickly speak in regards to the 2 motions that the National Committee will be sorry, the 1 motion in regards to the affiliate stance with the policy manual. I think that it's a good idea, and I would recommend that the LNC support it. I think it will help give libertarians and states a bit more control and power in regards to forming their affiliates, whether it comes down to being able to make the proper announcements with their states, or in other ways, in a way that makes it easier for them, such as if they can't do a convention, but if they have a bunch of libertarians come in to agree on the Constitution, that kind of stuff, whatever the likes is. I would just recommend that y'all support the amendment to help give affiliates a bit more control and support, as well as give those who may want to form affiliates in states where we don't have any some more control and support. Sorry for the rambling and for a little bit of the iffiness, but anyway, y'all have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ponka. Ms. Christensen.
Hi, my name is Lydia Christensen. I'm a Kiowa Sioux Native American, and I'm a Libertarian Uber on the U.S. Senate ballot in Michigan. As Americans, we have a sacred duty to lead our neighbors and our nation by proactively defending liberty for everyone. I've come to implore the Libertarian Party to live up to the call of our principles by standing in solidarity with the freedom and rights of our sovereign tribal nations. The Midwest here, Michigan Supreme Court just vacated Enbridge's Live 5 tunnel permit. In Wisconsin, the Bad River tribe just won a federal appeals court fighting to ensure that Enbridge was still trespassing on their land. In the Upper Peninsula and all across the Midwest, communities are celebrating. For many years, we have borne witness to our countrymen standing with righteous indignation against the hydra of federal and state overreach. And from the long fight with victory and liberty in hand, we are seeing it happen now. These victories happen right now in America because tribal nations are fighting for their own sovereignty. Bear Ears is in active litigation. 5 sovereign tribal nations are in federal court defending a contract that the executive branch has broken. Right now, the tribes need allies in that courtroom, and they need the Libertarian Party to show up. The Libertarian Party says that federal power should be checked. We say that sovereignty matters. Those are just words, though. Amicus briefs matter, and they win court cases. The Libertarian Party has a responsibility to defend our native tribes' sovereignty. We stand against the disenfranchisement of any individuals, including the tribes. I'm running for the U.S. Senate on this, and I'm asking you guys to vote in support of amicus briefs for this fight. Additionally, I'm in favor of the affiliate formation policy manual amendment, which promotes affiliate autonomy. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Harlos. Thank you, Ms. Harlos. Starchild.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you, Starchild.
Sorry, I'm trying to turn on my my video here. So 3 things, do we have 2 minutes or is it?
2 minutes, you're already in.
Okay. 3 things I wanted to mention. I believe are important for the committee.
Yeah, Chuck, I did that so it wouldn't
Transparency,
echo.
first one.
I
Second
wasn't
one is,
sure.
bottom-up governance, which you could also call participation or engagement. Third one is balancing and messaging. These, in my view, are probably the most important overall things to focus on. Without transparency, there's no accountability. We desperately need this. We need the public to be able to trust us, to see that we're not just conventional politicians, you know, that we're not going to get in power and replicate the mistakes of the Republicans and Democrats. Second one, participation and engagement, decentralization, you could also call it. I think it's really important to build up a farm team of people that have the skills to not just have the party run by a small group of insiders, however committed and well-meaning, because it sets up a pattern for that kind of governance that in the long run will harm the sustainability of our party as a bottom-up libertarian organization. And this, you know, would include things like allowing people to speak freely at meetings, you know, like.
Oh, I see what you guys are saying. I was trying to make no echo,
should be
but
open for meetings
now I
like this
know.
one for people
Sorry.
to talk to each other in writing.
And there's Star
while the
Child
meeting's going on.
harping on the same thing over and
third one, balance
over and
messaging.
over.
You know, we've got a problem, and it predates anything with any particular caucus or the recent issues in the party. This goes back years, decades, I think, stemming in large part from the anti-communism, the need to resist the Soviets back during the Cold War, and it kind of pushed libertarians into an alliance with the right. And our messaging has long appealed more on average to people on the right than to people on the left. And this is not just me saying this. You can go and verify this from surveys of the public and polling and so forth. I think it's pretty well established. So
I'll take my mute button off just in case I start talking.
Continue to fall into that. And you know, the good news is I don't see, I mean, I see people saying things like, oh, well, there's foreign interference on the LNC and stuff, but nobody's saying like, well, let's embrace nationalism as a party. You know, I see people complaining about, oh, there's socialists in the party, whatever, but I don't see people saying like, let's make this a right-wing party. So, you know, the fact that they cannot openly say that, I think, is encouraging, that we don't have people openly lobbying for those things. That shows we're not so far down the road that we cannot correct this and make sure that our messaging
I have no
appeals
idea
at least
where
as much to people on the left as to people on the right, so that
I don't know where
can
he's
correct this
going.
historical imbalance. Because if we don't, you know, it's like we're a small porcupine running between a giant elephant on one hand and a giant donkey on the other. If we go too far to left or right, we'll be trampled. Basically, it's a self-perpetuating trend that means that people will, when they come into the party, have some of the baggage from their old party or affiliation, and it will move the party more to that direction. And so the more you lean that way, the further you lean that way, and at some point potentially becomes an irreversible trend.
It's time, Star Child.
The danger that
Thank
we're
you.
trying to avoid.
Thank you.
All right.
Ms. Patrick.
Thank you.
Good evening. I just want to say thank you to everyone who is here for all of the hard work that you put in as a volunteer, mostly. And obviously, this is not always glamorous work. It is hard work, but it's important work. And for some reason, it's just on my heart today to tell you all that it's so important what we're doing and to keep doing what we're doing and not to get frustrated, because we are the way of the future. We have the ideas. We need to be leaps and bounds above the other parties and keep moving ourselves in that direction. So again, thank you so much for everything that you do, and have a good night.
Thank you, Ms. Patrick.
And Mr.
Thank
Chair,
you
that
for all
is
of
perfect
your
timing.
work in Florida.
Oh,
And thank you
here
for
we
being
go.
a candidate and for resisting the attempts to push you off the ballot. Thank you so much for that.
Is the screen still showing you guys?
Just as a personal aside, I do hear that Ms.
Yeah,
Patrick
it
has
is. Okay.
some legal obligations, financial legal obligations. If people would like to help her, please get with her and help her retire her legal debt. Moving on to the agenda, is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
I move to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Hanush, it was seconded. Any objection to moving the agenda as presented? 1, 2, 3, the agenda is adopted. Next on the agenda is the financial report. Treasurer Neville.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. All right, well, thanks everyone for your time. So let's get started. The close process for July has not yet started, so the verbal report that follows here is mostly based on bank statements. Staff in All-in-One Accounting, our hired accounting firm, will begin their work tomorrow. That said, Hannah Kennedy, our amazing operations director, she was able to provide me with some preliminary data that was very helpful. So thanks to her and her team once again. Cash-wise, July was not a good month. We collected $54,000, which is our lowest collection totals of the year, and dispersed $320,000, which is our highest dispersed totals for the year. Excuse me, vendor payments were $280,000 of the 320, and so the other 40 was salaries and benefits.
Right.
Our net cash activity was a burn of $266,000. Year to date, we have earned $329,000 of cash. This leaves our unrestricted cash at $419,000 and restricted cash, our total cash including restricted cash, at $895,000. The convention numbers are final now. Revenue was $192,000 against total expenses of $310,000 for a net loss of $118,000.
Pat Ford should never.
Since our spend was so high in July, I think I should comment on where some of the money was spent. We had an estimated $109,000.
Hold on 1 second.
Yes.
Mr. McGee, that is not me. Do not let them in the room. Kick them out. Oh, wait, no. Don't kick them out. I think that is Oliver Hall. Sorry. Oliver, is that you? It is.
Yes.
Never mind. Sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Treasurer.
Oliver's a troublemaker.
He was using my link to get in.
So we had an estimated $109,000 spent on the convention in July. So of our cash that went out the door in July, 109,000 of it was related to the convention. The largest single spend for that was $44,000 on the AV vendor, but also cash dispersed to 3 different hotels in Grand Rapids totals $60,000.
That convention was an utter failure.
We also had an estimated $60,000 spent on affiliates and other.
And I told you guys it was.
I think we all know 33,000 of this went to LP Maryland. We also had $36,000 of fundraising expenses and another $21,000 spent on the LPNM case, legal case. I just want to let everyone know we had a breach of the PNC credit card in July, where roughly $561 was fraudulently spent. This matter has been fully resolved and the bank has refunded all of the money except for $40, and we're going to get that taken care of this week. And a new card has been ordered, so that matter has been fully resolved. So looking forward, there's a very good chance that I'll be able to include the accounting numbers, unlike what I'm doing right now, from staff in All-in-One Accounting at the next meeting, because of the way that the end of August lines up timing-wise with our monthly meeting that we'll be having in early September. So I invite all the members, email me at treasurer@lp.org or doug.neville@lp.org if you have questions or comments about these numbers. That's everything, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? I've got some statements that I'll make, but any questions from the board? Okay, to reiterate, the 2 largest spends for the month were the convention and petitioning. That was the bulk of
Convention was an
that
utter
large number
failure,
that you
like I
hear.
said it would be.
Um,
And the way
as you
Pat
can see
Ford
in
jacked up
Executive Director
that
Dosbach will
agenda.
report on this. We still have checks coming in. We typically get them the final or the first week of the previous month based off of when those appeals and letters go out. So there's still funds coming in, but the two biggest spends dramatically.
And I'm
we'll
really
talk
sorry
also
again,
about this during the convention.
guys, that I couldn't get this
Oversight
started
Committee
on time.
report.
I thought I wasn't
was
going to stream at
convention and
all.
final convention spending. And I do believe, yeah, all of the convention expenses are now finalized and done. There's nothing, no additional convention spending coming.
Pat
thank
should
goodness.
resign.
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer, because I didn't see any hands go up for questions for the
We're at
treasurer.
time anyway, so.
Okay. Moving on to staff reports, Executive Director Dosbach.
Okay. And I just want to start by commenting regarding to the treasurer's report that actually, and your comments, that we actually have just started to get the returns from the fundraising letter. So we've got not just a single week, but we have several weeks likely of returns from that. And we have not started to receive the returns from the long-term lapsed member letter, which just hit the mail. It hit the was mailed out on July 20th. So none of those have come in by mail. We've gotten a few people who read the QR code or the URL and went to the website to donate. We've had a few of those, but most of that letter has not come in yet at all. So hopefully that will work well for the upcoming month. I did want to, before I take questions, I did want to comment on a couple things in my report. With regard to the communications director position, that contract has been signed, and we are pleased to welcome Rob Yates as our new comms director for the LP. We had 26 applications for the position, went through and narrowed it down to 4 people to interview who had the specific kinds of skills we were looking for. And of the 4, we felt that Rob was the best fit for the position. Everybody who applied either received an email. Those who weren't interviewed were notified by email that they were not selected, and the people who interviewed received a phone call. So everybody who applied was contacted before we announced this. Rob's first day officially is tomorrow. So I'm sorry. Okay.
Aaron.
Okay. And let me glance if there's anything else.
I can interrupt you, Mr. Dosbach.
Yes,
I
sir.
just want to thank Brian Williams for his service as comms director for many years. Thank you to the applicants and the people that we interviewed. You all did an amazing job. It was a tough decision. And I look forward to working with Mr. Yates as the new comms director.
Thank you. I wanted to point out that we discovered a few days ago that I discovered, maybe other people knew it, that when somebody donated, joined, or renewed, they were only getting a receipt from Zoho. They were not getting any kind of thank you letter, a thank you email. That's been fixed. So people are now getting thank you in addition to the receipt. And under ballot access, I do want to call your attention to that. It is almost certain that we've made the ballot in Massachusetts, given the numbers. And sort of a surprise, or a bit of a surprise, the folks in New Hampshire, not associated with the former affiliate, have placed a candidate for, submitted petitions to place a candidate for governor on the ballot. And based on the numbers, they are likely to qualify for that.
I'm sure our former affiliate is thrilled.
And I do want to point out that Unified Membership program has been working all the tests. So I'm pretty sure we're about with the point where we can start rolling it out to other states. And with that, I will be happy to take any questions.
Any questions for Executive Director Dosbach?
Mr. Chair.
I cannot see who is. Mr.
This is
Boss.
Travis.
Mr. Boss, go ahead.
Yes, I'm not back. I feel allow me
Evan's
a moment.
looking
I
sharp.
did have a question about the unified memberships. Is there an issue with affiliates on different CRMs or methods of joining?
No, there should not be. The way it is set up is there will be it'll be a link on our website that affiliates can choose to use. If they sign up, then they can point people to it, or we can point them to it within our site. If somebody selects to join unified with the two, it appears whatever the dues are for that state are incorporated. It appears to the person using it as a single transaction, but behind the scenes, it actually is two transactions. So the money for the national goes directly to national. The money to the state goes directly to the state, and that goes through their Stripe accounts. So there's nothing needed to be done at the CRM level.
There is stuff that needs to be done at the CRM level, but it's them integrating that data point within their CRM, just to make that clear. But it's not dependent on your CRM. It's anybody can use it.
There are
Any
some
state can
things
use
that LNC members should just trust
I guess
our
what I meant
IT
was
and
there's
staff to do.
They don't have to have some
There
particular
doesn't
one.
need to be staff time on this, on
It's
technical
handled the same. It
details.
handled from their end.
This
looks
isn't
just like they
high-level
somebody made a
LNC
contribution at their
stuff.
own website.
It is time, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Seeing no additional questions, we'll go ahead and move on. Mr. Ford, Convention Oversight Committee report.
Okay, I'm here. First of all, are members in receipt of the report that was sent out this afternoon?
No.
I
Yes.
believe so, yes.
It went through the emails, yes.
Okay, great.
No.
All right.
No.
Let's start out by this. Let's be blunt. First of all, just as a tiny aside, there's approximately $20,000 in additional receivables that will be coming in over the next week or two to partially mitigate what is obviously a
failure,
a catastrophic loss. The report goes into a lot of detail. It's a preliminary report. There are literally a couple of items, additional detail that I requested on things like the food and beverage breakdown and reservations. A report, if it's possible to get on.
I'm checking to see if I just missed this report.
It's obviously very difficult for me, and I appreciate your patience right now. In the report, I talk about a tale of the numbers. And a significant part of this loss is attributable to the low attendance. Now, let me be very clear. I'm the chairman of this committee for the next couple of days. I take full responsibility for that. Regardless of any of the conditions that went into this, this was my job to overcome them and to provide the best possible convention. And what's frustrating about this, there are people in this room who both financially and physically worked incredibly hard on this. There's a handful of people like Mr. Dar who may not be in this room who literally met with me 3, 4, or 5 times a week in efforts to but ultimately what it comes down to is with 619 delegates and the pre-registration delegates credentialed according to Mr. Dar of 852, there's a huge gap there. Again, when politicians say that they take full responsibility, I typically hate that because what does that
Yeah,
mean?
we didn't get the
I'm not
COC
sure
report.
what I can do at this point to make this better, which is incredibly frustrating. We were very optimistic given the speakers we got, having the additional day, all of that this would be a memorable convention. And in certain ways it was. The debate was heated, a new board was elected. All
A new
that
board's
happened.
always elected.
But in reality,
it was memorable for the
we
way
were unable to
the agenda was
level
rat
of
fucked.
attendance necessary to support a convention of this size. And the frustration, of course, is the numbers
Chuck, I
were
just
large but
confirmed
not
that
dramatic. An additional
the
100 to
LNC has it.
125
It didn't go
delegates
out to the public list.
using a basic conservative estimate of rooms and attendance at different events would have made an incredible difference in this, but it didn't happen. So folks, if they have time to read this, I have all sorts of time to answer questions now or offline. I know we're limited with a lot to do this meeting, but
there's actually not a
that's
lot
where
to
we
do,
are.
but your time is limited.
We simply didn't get enough people to show up, and I simply didn't get enough people to show up. And I'll have to live with that. I've gone into in the report everything from hotel rooms, a conversation, a 4-day convention, delegate participation, a debate over how to handle getting more participation. We sold a significant number of packages and events, given the delegate attendance. We sold 400 and change for a delegate attendance of 619 and a handful of alternates, which wasn't bad. I talk about the mechanics of the package sales, and I put some numbers in there in terms. I mean, in fact, 439 total events were purchased from a pool of about 619 delegates plus alternates. I talk in length about the effort put into selling the training, which was very well received by people who attended, but literally the minimum number of folks who attended. I talk about the Zoho software.
Thank Mises for all of this
I
too.
would recommend not using and using other alternatives. Speakers. We obviously had a lot of speakers, and there was a relationship between the speakers willing to do breakout sessions and their ability to address the convention. Looking back, I understand that some delegates were very frustrated that the speakers took up too much time.
You
So
think?
I talked about that. Sponsorships. The difficulty in approaching 501c 3s and 4s was noted, and very late in the game was adapted for.
Mr. Chair, we're at time, but I imagine there would be a motion to extend.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move to extend by 10 minutes on this topic.
Yes, you're recognized, Mr. Longstreth. Everybody, please practice,
Apologies.
Mr. Longstreth moved to extend by 10 minutes. Is there any objection to extending by 10 minutes?
He rat fucked
extended by 10 minutes.
that agenda.
So I think I've spent enough time stating the obvious. I'm certainly open to questions right now, and offline as well. Tricky part about this is that there is information in this report that's confidential. I'll leave it up to the chair to decide what he wants to make public and what he feels
it has
appropriate.
just gone to the LNC because of that. That's understandable.
As he would like. Again, there's a handful of things that literally loose ends that have to be put into this, but we're just a couple of days away from final publication and a new board. So please have at it.
I think there's only one item that actually affects the LNC that's not within the report, and that's outstanding payment from one of the affiliates, which I think will be cleared up. Is there any, Mr. Ford, would you object to making this a final report as opposed to a preliminary report?
Only because there's information about food and beverage that I'd like to incorporate in that, but I operate at the will of the body.
Okay. I think we need to move beyond. So is there any objection from the board categorizing the report as the final report? Okay, hearing no objection, I will deem it the final report of the Convention Oversight Committee. Questions, and then I'll have some statements. Mr. Flores and then Mr. Redpath. Mr. Flores.
That was actually artifact from the motion to extend time, so I'll lower my hand.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Flores. Mr. Redpath.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to thank Pat Ford for the incredibly hard work he put in.
Bill is generous
on this convention. This is not Pat Ford's fault, and it is no individual's fault. This is an institutional problem.
I mean, he's correct. I'm just upset about the agenda.
Are insisting on carrying on midterm conventions, which is an antiquated and expensive practice that needs to cease. We are this, I could see this coming from a long way away. And but the bylaws require this. And this is not any individual's fault or group of people's fault. We need some introspection about how we are going to move
2018 made
forward
money.
in the future with future conventions. I think we'd be far better off with one kick-ass convention every 4 years, because I'm afraid we're going to be looking at
But that is an interesting
quadrennial
idea.
problems like this going forward indefinitely to the future. The R's don't do it, the D's don't do it. Why? Because an organization
Actually, I
that
think
has
the
trouble
R's
raising
are
$1
doing
million
it
a year currently continue
this
to
time.
indulge in such an expensive and unneeded practice as midterm conventions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Redpath. Mr. Recurrio.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a quick question. Mr. Ford would not be prohibited from continuing to send us information, right? Even though we've adopted a final report, we can still receive more information.
Correct. There can be updates to it as other things may come to an end. But I think the biggest
as I
thing is
said,
it's just one
thank Mises for a
outstanding
lot of
payment
this.
left,
Very
which
much.
I'll just
It's
say
funny
is
how.
$1,000.
Anyway,
so it's not that's not going to change the outcome.
I've probably been extremely unfair in posting this all at Pat's,
committee rolling,
but it's more than just the agenda.
We have to finalize that
but
contract and move forward with all of the
I
things
certainly
required for that.
wasn't inspired to get a ticket. I was not that I could have afforded
any other questions
to be
for
completely
Mr.
honest,
Ford? Ms.
but I
Robson?
was really upset.
I just wanted clarification because I may have just totally misread and misheard, but I thought it was something more along the lines of $20,000 that Mr. Ford had mentioned. Did I totally just mishear that?
And yes and no. The bulk of that money doesn't actually go to us. So in a typical convention, there is a nonprofit organization that is set up that handles the vendors and sponsorships, because we can't accept those organizations. 501c3s can't send people to speak at our conventions or to table at our events as a political party. So it's done through a other organization that can do that. That should then those areas would be billed to that organization, because that organization also can't give us money. This is how a lot of the R's and D's do it. Unfortunately, that organization wasn't set up until the contracts were all finalized. And it wasn't known that it was needed until it was too late. So some of that payment is going to them, which will hopefully be used to offset 2028 expenses. But unfortunately, it can't go to us or pay down the current bill.
Thank you for the clarification.
So the only outstanding payment to us is $1,000 from an affiliate. Ms. Fintish.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, would you be able to remind those of us who were not on the LNC beforehand who all the members of the Convention Support Committee were and what their names are?
Off the top of my head, I can't. Mr. Ford probably can. I can tell you, having sat in on several of the Convention Oversight Committee meetings as an ex officio, very few people who were actually on the committee actually attended the meetings. It was a lot of Pat Ford, Mr. McGee, Paul Darr, who was also ex officio, and then
Paul Darr wasn't
Betty
ex
Rose
officio.
Ryan and Jim Turney and even Mr. Dosbach were there late in the game to try to help with historical information. And so, but Mr. Ford, who are the other members of the committee?
Mr. McGee, Andrew Watkins were both active participants. The three statesmen, if you will, of it, you mentioned them, were all there actually extensively from the beginning and provided a lot of information, a lot of guidance, and to them I'm eternally grateful. Mr. Darr, I can't understate his contributions, as everyone knows Mr. Darr knows him. High integrity, high work effort, low drama. And so he was basically a partner, if you will, to the chair of the committee, me. And again, those are the folks that consistently showed up. Mr. McGee was intimately involved in the selection of the next site. And and then, of course, I will say that we got tremendous support from the staff. Drew, in particular, well, I shouldn't say that in particular because everybody worked really hard, but I have to note that Drew probably sent out somewhere in the notion of 200,000 or 300,000 emails over the year or so that we were doing this, which were all great helps, raised a lot of awareness. So those are the principles involved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. Something I'd like to stress from the financial report from Treasurer Nebel was we just paid $60,000 to hotels for room. And this isn't to you, Mr. Ford. This is just to the body. $60,000 for rooms that we didn't use. They were unsold rooms that we were obligated. We did not reach our attrition rate at the majority of the hotels. And so we were obligated to pay that money for something. I mean,
Then
just,
why in the
food and beverage,
reports
that's not anything
leading
else,
up to
AV,
Grand Rapids,
it's just
did Pat
$60,000 for
report
rooms
that we were doing awesome with room
were,
sales?
by all accounts,
Am
empty,
I misremembering
that we were obligated to use?
I
Mr. Ford, do you,
remember
off the top of your head, do
reports
you remember
leading
how
up.
many room nights that actually was, what we ended up having to pay for?
That's actually in the report.
Okay.
That's in the report. And there's a couple of things to stress on that. Conversations were had I'd say early on about reducing that. That contract, and this I want to be very careful because the hotel contract was actually in a lot of ways a good one. There were rewards for rooms that were sold, which we realized, which incredibly enough helped defray the shortage. The original contract, the room counts were similar. The one addition, and I go into this in some detail, I'll spare you now, but
it might be in the report,
the addition of
Chuck.
a fourth day turned out to be a mistake on several levels. And, you know, as someone who went through this, I would probably say it needs to be reevaluated seriously because that presented additional rooms, part of which weren't sold because of the shortfall. And in addition, and it provided additional costs on AV because it fell on a holiday.
Mr. Chair, we're at time again.
So anyway, I just, in reflection.
Okay, hold on, Mr. Ford.
Yep.
That was time. Would there be a motion to extend by 5 minutes?
Motion to extend by 5 minutes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Any objection to extending by 5 minutes? Hearing none, we are extended by 5 minutes. Mr. Ford, there are 3 other members who want to speak.
Joseph, they
Please,
got extra rooms.
I have Ms. Hayes
leading
and Mr.
up
Martin,
to Grand
and
Rapids
then,
at other hotels,
only had
if
2.
I remember correctly.
And also Mr. McGee.
And as far as
Mr. Martin is here
AV
now. Ms. Hayes.
requiring Monday was supposed to be overflow. We weren't supposed to plan for business on Monday.
I've worked on state and regional level conventions and even a couple national level, and I just want to speak to one tiny thing, and that is the room minimums. What we're seeing is that those are actually not worth it. The hotels will sell them as like a discount, but in the free market of hotel rooms and Airbnbs and sleeping on beds and campsites, I even know a big convention where people slept in their car, right? So people are just not booking them. So I would really advise in the future to have that be as low as possible, or even some regional and state conventions I've worked on, we're not even doing a room block anymore, just because we know people are going to want to like crash in a big house together or whatever, right? So I'm just seeing a big shift away from that, which it sounds like was a big pain point. So I just want to put that out there for whoever ends up doing this next, to keep those requirements as low as possible, or even just forego them, because it's just, we're not seeing the market choose.
Ms. Hayes, just as a point of information for you, it's different on a regional or a state level where it's a smaller event when you're using the entire convention center. It's baked into the agreement. So the food and bev minimum plus the room block agreement is what gets us the room usage of the convention for almost free. So it's baked into it. It would actually probably, outside of this scenario where there was an extra hotel or two that we ended up not using.
They never should have did those
that
extra hotels.
Typically, it would cost us more to not have the room block because we'd be paying for the entire convention
They
site
fucked
as well.
up.
So that's just
Not
information.
this LNC.
I definitely get that, but
last
even
LNC.
like big conventions, like some that just maybe just happened in Vegas, even they're getting away from this because again, there are so many options in these big popular cities that are doing these. So yeah, just like I said, just as low as possible. I get it, and the hotel has a vested interest in telling you that it's a deal, right? But I don't know, we've completely foregone it. But yeah, different on size for sure.
Thank you,
Mr.
Mr. Martin.
She's such a
just
cutie
briefly
pie.
Respond very briefly. The challenge in some of this is that this original contract predates even my engagement and goes back to, and I'm talking about the entire contract, goes back to almost immediately after the site selection took place. So to your point, there's a lot of validity in it because we're being asked to commit a year to 2 years ahead of time on this without really understanding what life is going to be like in a year or 2 years. Thank you.
True, but the last hotel was added later, significantly later.
Right.
The last hotel was added because in the interim period, the dates had to be moved by a couple of days because they were misaligned with the actual dates. So the last hotel was added. I've made a request, as you mentioned to me personally, to get the original contract, the original contract. But we actually, when we added that hotel, we actually were reduced in the number of rooms at the Hilton because the rooms simply weren't available on those days. So what we did was there were two problems. Number one, we had to book rooms elsewhere, and number two, again, the addition of the fourth day did not turn out to be our friend.
That was supposed to be fucking overflow. I'm so mad about that.
Sure, can you hear me okay?
Yes, you're a little choppy, but yes.
And you're a little way too close to
I'm
the
not
fucking
sure how my internet
camera.
connection will work, but I'll try to get this out very simply.
Hold
the
on.
biggest problem is not a failure in planning.
Let
It
me.
is a failure in a more basic duty. We have turned off most of the people who would otherwise want to be here with drama, infighting,
Yeah, you're the one saying that.
platform messaging, veering towards socialism, communism, substituting what people actually come to the LP for the thing that they fight against. We are
Call them to order,
We
Evan.
are currently captured by the interests that we fight against, and people are burnt out because they don't want to be in dysfunctional, divorce politicking fights.
You are the
where we're
most
suing
dysfunctional
former
person
chairs
I've
over
ever
political bullshit
seen.
that we know is not meritorious and entirely motivated by factionalism, not finances, not the health of the organization. And it's not just suing McCardle. You people are horrible.
Hey,
horrible to deal with.
Mr. Chair, we're at time.
Mr. Martin,
No, it's
come
my
to order.
time, Mr. Chair. I have
Come
the floor,
to
and you
order,
are going
Mr.
to
Martin.
respect the rules of this
Mr.
body.
Martin,
You
you
are
will
going to
not make
respect the rules of
statements
this
about
body,
the
sir.
rest of the board. Mr. Martin, you
I
will
can
come
make
to
whatever
order.
statement about
No,
the
you
board I
can't.
please in a
No, you
meeting,
can't.
Mr. Chair.
Mr.
Get
Chair,
a
No, you
grip.
cannot.
You will
No,
come
you
to
cannot.
Get a grip.
You will
No,
come
you
to order.
cannot.
order.
Come.
Mr. Chair, I move
You
to
will come to
eject Mr.
order.
Martin from the meeting for
I
brief.
ask,
Yes.
I ask the body,
Go for it.
how we mute Mr. Martin.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Martin, if you cannot contain yourself, you
So
will.
my opinion.
There was a motion to remove him.
Problem.
There was a motion to remove him. You need to
Thank
hear
you.
that,
And we
Evan.
are at time, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Time has expired on this item. Next up is
That was a
the updates from
dissenting.
mute Mr. Martin and keep him muted, please.
There was a motion to remove
Is there
him.
a
Evan
motion
needed to hear
go
that.
into
Go
executive
ahead and
session to meet with Mr. Hall? If you unmute yourself and interrupt this meeting again, you will.
I
be
wanted to
removed from the
share.
meeting.
He just did.
Remove him from the meeting.
I move to move into executive session.
Thank
Second.
you, Mr. Dickey.
Go ahead, kick me out.
Any objection?
Please.
Remove Mr. Martin from the meeting.
Go ahead.
Actually, no, don't remove him yet. Hold, please. We will go to a vote. Mr. Secretary, before we go to that, as a point of order, shall the member be removed from the meeting for continued disruption?
Yes, that's
Move
the
to a
right way
roll
to
call
handle it.
vote.
For having an opinion you don't like, Mr. Chair. That's what it's for.
Violating decorum, Mr. Martin. Stating the board is horrible people is violating decorum. You are in breach of the policy manual behavior standards, and you will be silent.
According to whom?
He's insane.
This is subjective.
He's literally insane.
1 second, I need to prepare the ballot. I'm busy muting Mr. Martin.
Why bother with the formality? You guys.
Make me co-host. I'll mute him.
This is a This is why we lost money. Right now, you're costing the LP money.
All right, Mr. Koffel.
Aye.
Mr. Danke.
Yes, please.
Mr. Flores.
Pass.
Just
Vice
vote
Chair
yes,
Griffiths.
Alex.
He said pass. He said pass.
My apologies. Vice Chair Griffiths.
Aye.
Mr. Noosh.
Yes.
Ms. Hayes.
I just want to abstain on this.
That seems so good. You guys have been waiting for this a long time.
Ms. Hogarth.
Yes.
Treasurer Nebel.
Yes.
Mr. Longstreth.
I'm gonna pass for now.
Mr. Martin.
Yield to my alternate.
Okay. Ms. Fintish.
That would be a no.
I'm going to pass. Mr. Nikela.
I vote yes.
Ms. Nguyen.
Yes.
Mr. Redpath.
Yes.
Ms. Robson.
Yes.
Mr. Shaw.
Abstain.
Mr.
These are one
Thompson.
of the votes you can't
Yes.
abstain on. When it's time for courage, it needs to take courage.
Flores.
Stand on your yes or stand on your no.
Abstain.
No,
You guys are
that's
throwing me out for an opinion, and you know it.
Mr.
That's why I said,
Longstreth. Mr. Martin, we are in the middle of a vote.
fuck you, dude.
all you abstentions.
Mr.
Grow a
Secretary,
spine.
my vote is abstain.
Richard.
I will also abstain. Mr. Chair, the vote is 11-1-5.
I will vote yes.
Thank you, Evan.
The final vote is 12 in favor, 1 opposed, 5 abstentions.
Shouldn't have
Please
voted,
remove
but
Mr.
he's
Martin
he's
from
making
the
a statement, and I
room
understand
do
it.
not readmit
Still
him.
doesn't make your censorship right, cowards.
Thank you. Okay, so Mr. Longstreth, I believe, motion to go into executive session.
Will
Move.
say
I know
yes.
I'm being
I'm not sure if I did or if I was the
I'm
first one
being
heard, but
pedantic,
yes,
but that's one of
so
my
moved.
pet peeves.
It was moved and seconded.
Second.
Any objection to moving into executive session for legal updates? Here, and it's for 30 minutes according to the agenda. We will move into executive session. Mr. Secretary, if you can pass the controls to Ms. Harlos after you have set up the meeting. Or the
Will
break.
do.
I just heard a
And
ding
Ms.
on my
Harlos,
email.
You are not to let Mr. Martin into the room.
Certainly, Mr. Chair.
Can the chat be turned on, please,
No.
while you're in the secret meeting?
Nope.
What's the harm in having the chat on while you guys are in the secret meeting?
Because it has to be done at the beginning of the meeting, and we're not doing it.
Confidential,
So
not
there's no way
secret.
to turn on the chat in the middle of the meeting? Well, it is secret unless they decide to release the contents, Susan.
Are we in between the meeting and the meeting?
Kind of.
Okay.
Not exactly yet.
Okay.
Not until we all leave the room.
Apologies.
You're fine.
Mr. Chair, because Mr. Martin was ejected from the actual participating in the meeting, does that also mean that he would be restricted from being able to observe the meeting? I don't think those are two of the same things.
Yes, because he cannot be in the room. He's ejected from the room. But thank you, Ms. Fintish.
Pretty
Mr.
sure I
McGee.
was not meant to get an invite to the executive
Yeah.
session, so I will.
Yeah, I got one too. Just so you know, Mr. McGee, that room 1 invitation went out to everybody.
Yeah, that was a mistake. The actual session is in room 2,
Okay.
which you did not get.
Thank you.
So if I decline this room 1 invitation,
Yeah,
I guess
so yeah.
okay. All right.
Or people can hang out in room 1 all on their own.
There you go. So what's up, party people? How's it going? Anybody read any good books lately?
Just philosophy shit. Nothing too out of the ordinary for LP people.
There you go.
I more or less finished a novel.
Writing or reading?
Writing.
Oh,
It will
nice.
be a new Telsey Emberden. The name may not mean anything to many of you, science fiction novel. I also read The League of Dangerous Young Ladies, which is a sort of Sherlock Holmes pastiche, though Holmes barely shows up. The best introduction to this, though this is not from the novel, is, Mr. Holmes, I need to introduce myself. My name is Rose. Rose Moriarty. I believe you knew my father before you threw him off the Reichenbach Falls.
And to that point, Miss Harlos, could you move me into room 2?
Oh, okay. Let me see if I could figure that
Please
out
move
here.
him off of the Reichenbach Falls.
I don't see
Oh,
the
bad.
rooms. I don't think you made me co-host yet.
I definitely did.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me see.
You are definitely co-host.
Okay, I don't see the rooms.
That is interesting.
Oh, breakout rooms. Okay. They moved something around. Let me see if I can move you 1 second here. I'm looking for you on the list. You're not showing up on my
LNC secretary?
Yeah.
If he's not on the list, he can't get in.
Oh, well, that's gonna be fun.
I do not see you on my list.
I call shenanigans.
like,
See, it's a conspiracy. Austin Martin was right.
I totally do not see you on this list.
I don't either. I'm just like, I'm trying to move myself to the room. It's just
Yeah.
I'm not here.
You don't
I'm
see
wondering-
LNC secretary sorry, on the Mr. McGee, you're list?
gonna have to sit out here with the plebs.
Oh, it's okay. I'm on the litigation committee. I'll find out later.
There you go.
Okay, I'm going to look on participants rather than rooms like I normally do. Well, I see you on participants, and it could be because you're the host, you don't show up on the list.
That's bizarre.
That could be it. I bet you if you weren't host, you'd show up on that list. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I ever saw myself on the list when I was host.
Well, the thing is that last meeting I did, but normally when you go into a breakout room, there's, basically unassigned, and then you've got rooms. There's no
Right.
unassigned.
Yeah. And,
There's just room 1 and room 2.
I don't want to take a lot of time with this. Get with me after the meeting. There's a way to automatically, once you open the room, all the LNC members automatically get moved. There's a secret script in Zoom to do that.
Is it possible for him to come back in, like under his own name or whatever, and then have you move him over there?
He can, if I think you need to give up host, let me host, move you. Then when you all come back, I make you host, and then you remove my co-host. I think that's the way you're going to have to do it.
All right. Well, that's going to be fun. All right. 1 second. Okay, but because you're hosting. Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, see you guys.
All right. Well, since we're meeting in between meetings, for everyone here, if you would like to support a fantastic affiliate of LP National, we are Arizona, and azlp.org/donate. We've got some kick-ass things that we've been doing, and it takes money to do them. So we want to keep doing it and hope you can support. Thank you.
Let's see if he can come back in. I don't see him back. Okay. I don't see. Here's LNC secretary. Okay. Assigned to room 2. Okay. He should be in there now. Let me see.
Yep, he just disappeared.
Yep, he's in there. Something was just going on weird with Zoom. Okay. I'm not going to assume the room Gestapo position unless a bunch of people start talking over each other. If there's not a lot of people who want to talk, that just natural conversation, that's fine. The past few meetings have just, they were chaos because a lot of people were eager to talk. Otherwise, I just will be here and be quiet.
Nathan, what's Arizona up to? Like specifically?
Oh, we got all kinds of stuff going on. We got the flock stuff. We're still fighting that in every city as we can. We got some ballot access efforts that we need funded.
Okay, I'm muting that for a second. Hopefully you guys aren't upset. If you are, let me know in chat. If you'd rather, whoops, what'd I do? If you'd rather hear the chat. Why is it doing that? Not showing. Let me just go back with that. Let me know if it's not showing the room. But I wanted to talk a bit about JC stuff while we were in this break period. So I might actually be having 2 more shows on the JC because Todd Hagopian submitted an amicus. And I hate saying it was in favor of LPNH. That's just the way you have to file. He actually, I like the way he posted on Twitter. He said, I'm not in favor of LPNH, nor am I against the LNC. I hate you all. But it was more of a procedural argument, and he's in LPNH's side when it comes to procedure. And I wanted to make that clear. And it was a thoughtful amicus. So I want to address that. Certainly want to address that before addressing any of Hector Roos's AI slop. So there may actually be 2 shows, but I also have to do a channel patron show. There's a certain level where you get to request a topic a month, and I'm coming up on that month where I got a request. So that's something else I need to do. Okay, that's really all I think I have to say. So let me put the room back on.
So I'm not sure if Karen Ann was deafened, but
Oh, I was. I'm
in the middle.
sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I was in the middle of speaking when you started.
Oh, I'm sorry you guys heard me. I'm sorry you
It's all
heard me.
good.
I was doing something on my show. I'm so sorry you heard me. Yeah,
haven't all of
I will
All good.
I'll mute myself, but go ahead.
Now we always appreciate your insight on the JC stuff, Karen Ann, so it's all good. So yeah, no, Arizona's got some ballot access challenges that other affiliates don't necessarily have to deal with. We do have some major hurdles when it comes to our stuff because we have to get ballot access in every jurisdiction. You know, statewide doesn't mean statewide; it just means for state office, and the counties are where the real fight is. So we definitely appreciate any support that you guys can, you know, send our way. $5, $10, $500, whatever you can do. It's all appreciated. And yeah, thanks a lot.
Nice.
Okay. Libertarians don't wear paisley. Go.
What?
If it's black and
Nathan,
gold, it's
Nathan
perfectly
knows
fine.
what I'm talking about. Nathan.
I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
No, he thought wrong.
Just not America in the 60s. So
listen, I don't listen to fashionists. All right.
You're supposed to say, Nathan, I don't listen to fashion advice from people with pink hair.
I was
Get
going
with
I was going the fashion fascist route.
Get with the program, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Three cheers for Rachel Blackfire and crew, who appear to have collected enough signatures to put Mr. Vallee on the ballot for governor of New Hampshire. Unfortunately, that was the easier step. The hard step is getting him 4% of the vote, at which point there will be a Libertarian Party of New Hampshire as a state recognized group. There has also been considerable petitioning in Massachusetts. I will give everyone a word of warning. Petition validity rates wander all over the place depending on where you are collecting. In most of the state, you can assume, if you're not a major party, a validity rate close to 80%. If you were collecting in Boston, Cambridge, Lawrence, or Lowell, you'll be lucky if it's as high as 30%.
George, can you explain what you meant by that for New Hampshire? Is that just that? Yeah, could you just explain what you meant by that? Does that mean the state recognizes a group kind of like with Massachusetts, or do you mean it's like just other states where they'll have their own ballot line and people can't petition on? I'm not sure what you mean.
Okay. Massachusetts does not have ballot lines. You have a list of candidates for an office in alphabetical order by last name, and under each name in smaller print is the name of the party. New Hampshire does have ballot, they're actually columns. In New Hampshire, if you are not a major party, you go out and you collect signatures to get on the ballot. And Rachel Blackfire and crew collected enough signatures to put Mr. Vallee on the ballot for this November election. If Vallee gets 4% of the vote, he gets to identify a group of people as the, I don't know the legal term of art, the acting state committee. The use of the acting state committee is that the acting state committee can complete the ballot, so that if there are blank places where there aren't people running, for example, most of the state legislature, the state committee can appoint, with their agreement, libertarians to be on the ballot. This would be happening in 2028. In addition, if memory serves, they get to appoint the presidential candidate. At some point in there, the new state committee is elected. This is New Hampshire, in a primary election. In Massachusetts, if Mr. Ozanoff has enough signatures and gets 3% of the vote, the last is extremely likely to occur because his only opponent is a Democrat. The Republicans couldn't even dig up a candidate. That state committee persists through its time to appoint electors and put someone on the ballot in 2028. However, if the presidential candidate, the at-large candidate in 2028, does not get, if memory serves, 3% of the vote, the Massachusetts Libertarian Party would then cease to be a major party and would become a political action committee, separate from any of the clubs, Alma, Llama, whatever, who are libertarian private clubs. Did that help, or did I make things worse?
I actually was, I kind of understand the Massachusetts situation, but the New Hampshire situation. So the nominee would get to appoint a state committee. That's where I was getting a bit confused because I'm so used to Colorado.
Oh, understood. They have enough signatures, we think, to put Vali on the November ballot. The next step depends on whether or not Vali gets 4% of the vote. If he doesn't get 4% of the vote, everything goes away. If he does get 4% of the vote, Libertarian becomes a major party in New Hampshire, and Vali appoints the state committee that will serve until the next election of state committees, which will happen in 2030, if memory serves. I think it's simultaneous with their presidential primary, but don't hold me to that because I'm not positive whether that's true or not.
So it's kind of similar to Massachusetts in a way.
Correct.
Okay. That's what I was trying to get, because I don't think that has ever happened when I had been on the LNC. So this is something completely new to me, and it's so different than so many other states. Like Massachusetts was the outlier. I think I kind of sort of understand. Thank you.
It's been a long time since New Hampshire got major party status. They had a series of efforts, and they made a decision as to who they wanted to run for governor. And the decision, from my point of view, was not the ideal decision, but hey, they're the people running their state association. They get to decide.
Thank you.
So when New Hampshire had major party status previously, were these all the same rules that they had to operate under, or is any of this new? Because I know a lot of state legislators have kind of changed things around since the 90s.
At some point, the percentage of the vote that you needed, that Vali would need to get major party status, was increased from 3% to 4%. But that's the only change. There is a suggestion that the Republicans and Democrats agreed that there was little danger of a libertarian getting 4%, but 3% was quite plausible. The only change in Massachusetts goes back close to 20 years. It used to be that if you were a minor party, or what the rest of the world would call a minor party, you only needed half as many petition signatures as you would if you were a major party. And then someone ran against a prominent, or not that prominent, Democrat and actually missed getting on the ballot. And the Democrat decided he didn't want to have opponents, so he had the rules changed, so you now need as many signatures as the Republicans and Democrats do. This isn't quite as bad as it sounds, because in Massachusetts, if you're a minor party, any registered voter can sign your petition. If you're a major party, only members of your party, there are very few libertarian people who fit that description, and unenrolled independent voters, which is now close to half the electorate, can sign your petition. Alas, independent voters are not interested in politics and refuse to sign petitions.
Yeah, Arizona is under that stringent rule set as well, where pretty much anything to do with petitioning, we have to get our own party and independents, and many of the same challenges are presented here. Plus, we have very hot summers, so it limits what we can do and when we can do it.
What fraction of your electorate is independent?
They've overtaken both major parties at this point, so they're over 1/3.
In Massachusetts, they're over half. The Democrats are a third. The Republicans were last seen approaching 8%.
Yes, Arizona is very much a swing state, and so it's highly contested.
I just heard the.
Massachusetts.
I'm sorry,
go
I
ahead.
just heard the beep that someone was trying to come in, but I don't see anything on my screen. Sorry, I'm kind of talking to myself. Sorry, George.
Massachusetts is a two-party state. The two parties are the machine Democrats and the liberal to socialist Democrats. To make matters worse, one of the issues on the ballot this year will be going to a California jungle primary in which the top two candidates will be on the ballot. As a practical matter, this means that we will be a literal one-party state in
I
which your
muted
choice
myself
will
in
be
the
a
meeting.
Democrat or a different Democrat.
If you're wondering what I'm doing work at the same time. Not job work, personal work, but during this break.
I know Karen Ann has done a few shows on ranked choice voting and what a poison pill looks like with that system, and Top X is definitely one of those. It is
Yeah.
unfortunate that they end up being packaged together by a multitude of people, and it kills any hope of progress.
That's certainly, like, I don't know all of the details of it, but I was involved for a while. I'm not anymore. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not, but I'm not in any official capacity. I used to be on an advisory committee with RCV Colorado, and they were offered over $1 million to advance, not offered like, they're offered a donation. You know how these things go. And to bundle RCV here, because we've been having decent success with RCV in Colorado, but they're trying to bundle it with a jungle primary, a top 4, I think. And those of you who may be following Colorado, where there's an absolutely insane Republican nominee for governor who did phone exorcisms and said he killed somebody at age 7, and then when asked how many people he killed as an adult, he asked the reporter, does that really matter? And the reporter was like, yeah, I think that matters. It's certainly entertaining here, but the quote-unquote mainstream Republican that he defeated, Barbara Kirkmeyer, tried to kill third parties in Colorado. So even though I certainly don't want the state to be run by Victor Marx, I do have some schadenfreude against Barbara Kirkmeyer losing to such a nut, because our ballot access would have been absolutely killed in Colorado. She was merciless in that regard. So just in case y'all, Colorado politics right now are really, really interesting, particularly with DSA persons advancing to the primary. Pray for us.
I'm certainly concerned with the DSA's activities across all parties, including the Libertarian Party. We have a very vocal DSA advocate in the national Discord now, and it makes me very uncomfortable that they're allowed to continue to be there.
right, Evan or somebody. So I don't do any of that stuff anymore. I decided limiting social media channels is good for health. Not to eliminate it entirely, but I just stick to Twitter. I don't do any of the Discord or any of that. But that is concerning if that's the case, Nathan. And I would draw it to the attention of party officers.
Well, party officers have engaged with this person,
Okay.
and it's been a thing.
I hate Discord.
Yeah. Nathan, I would concur, and it's unfortunate because this isn't all party officers, and I'm not even going to name names, but there are some party officers that definitely seem to be condoning this individual's involvement, and it's not ideal. There's also Michigan just elected a senator candidate that's kind of concerning as well for the LP.
Well, I've heard much the same for Oregon. So I think that the health of the affiliates right now is in dire straits, and you know, when the affiliates are weak, national needs to be strong. When national's weak, the affiliates need to be strong, and it's a very hard situation when both are at the same time, weak or strong. So I think that we need we do need something.
I will say, as the current owner of the National Discord server, all of that is surprising to me, considering no one has actually contacted me at all. So, you know, it would always be good to point out things and talk to people if you actually have a concern, considering you know me and I'm highly accessible to talk to. Thank you.
I was unaware that you were the one in charge of that at this point. I only know the moderators, and the moderators have been, let's say, lackadaisical about this. So,
Mr. Dar, I apologize. I probably could have brought it to your attention, but I figure you got enough on your plate being vice chair of Texas that.
Yeah, I'm kind of the unwilling owner of that server still, because they kind of told me to still do it. They didn't ask me. They just told me to stay in charge of it. So I was really happy to, you know, pass that off at some point. But no, go ahead. If something does concern you on there, bring it to my actual attention so that I can bring it to the moderators there. I don't actually I give them the rules and then ask them to apply it, but it's always if you feel something needs to be elevated, please elevate it to me. I am not actively on there for every conversation, so I might have missed what you guys are concerned about. So I'd be happy to have that help.
Hi, Kitty.
I just wanted to quick say I don't appreciate you guys calling me a socialist. I am a libertarian that has very progressive policies, but I'm not a socialist.
You, with respect, you described yourself as a libertarian socialist.
And not only that,
I never said I was a libertarian socialist. I said I was a progressive libertarian.
Not only that, you directly stated that you were a DSA advocate.
When did I state that?
Okay, now we're going to go to now. Excuse me. Now we are going to go to hands. So you all can continue the conversation, but please raise hands and I'll recognize so we can do this without talking over each other. Mr. Phillies. George? You're on mute. Thank you, George.
Starting with a few seconds ago conversation, I am happy to cheer on the DSA because it is splitting up the Democratic Party into factions, which will weaken them. With respect to weak state affiliates, a weak affiliate in Massachusetts would be real progress relative to what we currently have. There are sort of two groups. The Llama group was after the disagreement a few national conventions ago, has walked away completely from the National Party and is associated with the Liberal Party, Liberal USA Party, but is not doing anything. OMA, the Unified Libertarians of Massachusetts, our affiliate, is opposed to running candidates as far as I could get out of them. And neither group does anything complicated like publishing a newsletter. But that's where we are.
Mr. D'Orazio?
Due respect to Mr. Phillies, but I don't agree with him on the DSA. Much like the MAGA movement in the Republican Party, they're dragging they're dragging the Democrats to the edge. They're not splitting the party; they're galvanizing them farther left. Much like the MAGA Republicans galvanized the Republicans farther right. It's a loss. It's a loss of centrists. And yes, both parties are shrinking because of these movements, but they're not shrinking enough. I can't cheer on an ideology that's likely to make gains in November that is directly opposed to libertarianism.
Nathan?
Yeah, I have to I have to wholeheartedly agree with Mr. D'Orazio. I don't want to sound McCarthyesque, but when somebody walks in the door and says I'm a communist, and basically advocates for communism, socialism, then it's a major detriment to the political sphere as a whole, especially when they've become very popular. We have seen the rise in this ideology in New York, right? Mamdani and various other Democratic candidates, and not just Democrats. I mean, the DSA has long been around in various forms with different factions within itself, right? And the fact that they're getting organized and the fact that they're actually taking positions, I'd just like to point out that this is happening whereas libertarians are not taking these same positions. And so the fight for liberty and against this this hellish ideology, we're losing, and I don't want to cheer that at all. Thank you.
I had my hand up. I'm going to be agreeing with pretty much everyone here. As a state in which DSA candidates have got ballots, I can tell you Colorado is turning into a hellhole from those kinds of policies. So we might like watching politics from the side and kind of view it as a spectator sport where real people are not getting hurt. If I weren't the age I were with an established career, myself and Wayne, we would be hightailing it out of Colorado. It is turning absolutely unlivable here because of those types of policies. We would be looking at Wyoming, and who knows how long it is till it's there. So I do enjoy seeing both of the uniparties have their squabbles. I have to remember that there are real people getting really screwed up over these things. So thank you, Mr. Phillies.
Returning first to what Karen Ann just said, I would be interested in knowing what policies were being adopted in Colorado that are particularly misfortunate. With respect to progressives, I will remind people, some of you must have read Hayek's book, The Road to Serfdom, in which Hayek comments, however, that a reasonable government that he would view as, I guess, classical liberal, ensures that people have a decent minimum of clothing, food, shelter, and at least a modicum of medical care. The last of those is extremely radical if you know something about how medical care worked in England during World War II when the book was written. Nonetheless, I am somewhat more optimistic that party divisions weaken parties rather than strengthen them. So what, Karen Ann, is going on in Colorado?
So I wasn't prepared to like have a complete list here, but I will give you some examples. So it's the regulations that are being placed on businesses. So if you just look at Denver, there are businesses that have been just absolute anchors in Colorado, particularly restaurants that are closing. And that should be super alarming. I love urban areas. So I'm not one of those
There's people that were put in a breakout room, Karen. I think there's a couple people still there who may not know how to get back to this room. Can you take care of that?
I cannot and host this room. So I can send and interrupting somebody, please don't. But let me send a broadcast message so that anyone who is in that room, because McGee made let me do a broadcast message here. Anyone, whoops, it's not letting me type.
Yeah, it seems like these technical glitches come up that interfere with participation and transparency, and then nobody does anything about them.
Nobody knew about it and it could have waited in line. Thank you. Anyone in room, let me type this and then I'll continue answering George's question. Anyone in room 1 that is in error, please join the main room or leave and come back. That's about all I can do. That's going to interrupt their executive session as well. So once they come back, I'm going to say this was at request. Okay. So to continuing answer George's question, so there's a lot of very anti-business policies that you could just see starting to bloom. Then there are things like they are, I don't think this has passed yet, but this is the type of things. There's a proposition to ban all hunting in Colorado, which kills our tourism. And anyone knows that, I don't care how anyone feels about animal rights and things like that. It culls our herds and things like that. I'm not a hunter. I could never shoot an animal in my life. But now with the hunting, they're not allowing these like cottage industry, again, maybe I shouldn't say not allowed. I know this was proposed. I don't know if it's yet passed, to use fur scraps to make like coats and things like that. It's just crazy regulations. They keep pushing for socialized medicine. We have now the mandatory family leave that drives small businesses out. They're constantly pushing more and more gun regulations. Another one's coming into effect, I think, on August 4th. So it's those sorts of policies and our cost of living. So there's a lot of taxation too. And oh my God, it's unaffordable to live here, where I might not be able to name every single policy that created that. Colorado is now the second highest state with cost of living as a whole.
First, California?
California is first. And then other cities may be higher, but Colorado as a general rule is only second behind California. And it didn't used to be that way. So what's happened is people didn't like California, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, people can't move here. I don't want to build a wall around Colorado and make California pay for it, though I've joked about that before. They don't like what's happening in California. They're moving to these western states and Californianifying them. And it's different in just the 10 years that I've been here. So I don't know who was next. I think let's say Starchild's next because he wasn't in the room before, and everyone else. Then Joseph, excuse me, who hadn't gotten to speak. Then we'll go back to Nathan. So Starchild, Joseph, Nathan.
Thank you. I want to know from you or anybody else who's familiar with Zoom, is it actually impossible to turn on the chat while we're in these sessions while they're in a secret meeting? I don't think it is.
It is.
It is impossible.
Yes,
really?
It is.
You sure?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm positive of that. Unless something has changed it's been nearly a year since I've been LNC secretary, but as of the time when I was last July, was it? Whatever. Yeah, last July, I think. It was, you couldn't do it.
How about turning on the timer so that people can see how long somebody's talking and have that be visible, a timer on somebody's screen? I believe there's a way for moderators to do that in Zoom. And
I don't know.
It hasn't been happening. I've suggested it repeatedly. I think it'd be very helpful for people to see how much time they have left as individuals when they're speaking, and also for other people to be able to see in a transparent way that everybody's getting the same amount of time and being treated fairly.
I don't know. We never used that, so I can't meaningfully answer that. I'm ignorant.
Okay. Can you see if there's anybody else in any other rooms now besides this one and the secret meeting?
Let me see. unassigned. David Fight.
He's in this room. I see him
Okay.
here.
Yeah, there was something going on with Zoom, so I don't think that's reliable. So I honestly don't know. I sent the broadcast message, and if anyone doesn't see other people, they could log out and come back in. That's really all I can do.
Okay, because I did try rejoining before, and it put me back in that same room, which obviously wasn't helpful.
There's
Then,
something.
next time I did it.
I'm sorry, there's something really going on with Zoom tonight. I couldn't join the meeting at first. I had to uninstall it and reinstall it. I think Zoom's a bit glitchy tonight. It had some glitches that Mr. McGee had as well, where he had to leave and rejoin.
I see.
Joseph? Jay?
Yeah, this, I got to get, first of all, I should ask him how to get my damn Joseph off there. But no, I wanted to address particularly Nathan and thing. Now, listen, I'm an old ANCAP. I'm in Michigan. And I was there when Lydia was nominated to be our our Senate rep. I abstained, to be honest. Our choices were an outright racist, okay, an outright white nationalist. To vote no in order to support the Republicans or Lydia. Now, I see Lydia coming from a lot farther left than I am, to be honest, a lot farther left. I'm an old ANCAP. So I didn't vote for her. But when you go to her website, there is one bullet item down, a little bit like Anthony Hudson has his immigration thing tucked in there. Lydia does have a plank where she supports Medicaid for all. I don't support that. Everything else on her website is good. It's better than I expect you to be, Lydia, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if you believe it all. I hope you do. But from the standpoint of the presentation you're making for other libertarians, you're a left libertarian. You're probably more progressive than most of us really would prefer. But I would prefer you to the other two, even though I didn't vote for you. I'll vote for you on this. I'll vote for you when your name's on the ballot. I'll sure as hell pull the libertarian ticket. So
Jay, just for the record, my comments weren't really directed at Lydia Christensen.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that
I didn't think they were either. Yeah.
No, I didn't realize that she was the one that unmuted. It was actually directed towards Christian Robinson of Montana, who has directly stated that they are a member of the DSA and a libertarian socialist. And there has been legitimate arguments where personal viewpoints were expressed. And of those personal viewpoints was an unbelief in personal and private property. And so I see Christian has his hand up now if he wants to respond, but I think we're going in order. So I don't know what Chairman wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, let me finish what I was saying because you did interrupt, and that's good.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right because I did not think you were talking about Lydia. It's just because I just didn't think you were. I didn't know who you were talking about. And I understand some people's concerns. So if you are concerned, go to her website. Okay, look at her website, and then decide from there. In the meantime, and I'll thank you.
Okay. Christian hasn't spoken, so Christian and then George and then myself.
Oh no. No, I was just gonna say when what Jay said about Lydia's Medicaid for all message, and I mean it didn't seem too like anti libertarian or anything to me, because all it is just to summarize it, kind of makes it into like if I understood it correctly, like an opt-in system instead of being forced onto people while hijacking popular Medicaid for all messaging. And then in response to Nathan, a lot of times I'll go to talk about certain philosophical standpoints, but if I'm too many times libertarians will kind of misconstrued what people are like saying. If I'm starting a conversation on the basis of a state or within a stateless society, and not like trying to limit the government as within the system as it is right now, then obviously people are going to have different viewpoints how anarchy would work. But I did shift my position to, firmly believe that anarchy is impossible. And, minarchist state, I'm okay with. But yeah, just to clear that up, Nathan, because I did try to use the Libertarian Socialist title before, and I did participate within the DSA to kind of understand the left anarchist views, but I did realize that it seems like both the extreme right and the extreme left of anarchism are kind of batshit. So kind of trying to steer away because both the left anarchists in the DSA group, for instance, look at capitalism as only existing under the state. The people on the right anarchism, like the ANCAPs, only look at socialism as only existing under the state. Both only being able to exist with state enforcement. So I mean, there's just a lot of it seems like they're both against the same exact thing, but the other side of the coin of it. But yeah, but anyways.
Okay, George?
Let us look back a century. In addition to the libertarian movement, which didn't mostly use that name a century ago, there was also a libertarian movement, which also didn't use that name for the most part in Britain. The two groups disagreed on one fundamental issue. They agreed that the question is, what is the primary threat to human liberty? American libertarians tended to say that the main threat to human liberty was the government of all levels, and therefore things that chopped down the strength of government defended human liberty. The British libertarians, who might on occasion say they were libertarian socialists, would say that the primary threat to human liberty was the concentration of great wealth in the hands of a very small number of people. The name Elon Musk might come immediately to mind. The barons of the various internet services might come to mind. But the English libertarians would say the great threat to human liberty was a huge concentration of wealth in a small number of people, and therefore very high taxes to make that problem go away was how you defended liberty. Needless to say, this point of view would not be well received in the United States by many libertarians, but I think it is worthwhile to note the history. To that, I would add, I am an anti-anarchist. I am firmly convinced that the Dallas Accord, while it was a fine idea at the time for that convention, which is what it applied to, was a mistake, but I don't have a working time machine, so I can't fix that. And thank you for your hard work in keeping this in order, Karen Ann.
You're welcome. Okay, so a couple comments. From what I understand at the Michigan convention, and I don't know any of the candidates, so I'm not going to speak on their positions or anything like that. And anyone could correct me if I'm wrong, is that there was a push to either to NOTA or support someone that would drop out in favor of Republicans. That is absolutely and utterly unacceptable. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to just historically disagree with George on one point. I've done whole presentations on this, did a whole paper on it, traveled the country doing presentations on this. The Dallas Accord was not applicable to that convention, only that convention, because what it resulted in, the actual, whatever agreement those people came to, yeah, it was just what those people came to, but they then solemnified, I'm doing a Candace Owen on the words here and absolutely mispronouncing it, but they solidified it, let's just do a word I can pronounce it, in an amendment to the statement of principles. And that's about as permanent as you can get and as binding as you can get in this party upon future conventions. And I am not anti-minarchist. I am a hardcore anarchist, and I am not an anti-minarchist. So I still love you, George. Star Child.
somehow I got muted again. Um, yeah, I largely, as I understand it, was on whether the best ultimate solution for defending freedom is a very limited government or no government at all. And I think that position has served us very well. It allows us to have our philosophical disagreements without them derailing the project. That we should be able to work together in the meantime. And I see everybody's coming back now, so I'll let them do that.
Just so everybody is aware, we are coming back into the session in a moment. So please go ahead and remute yourselves.
And Mr. Chair, I apologize for doing that broadcast message, but apparently there were people who got really confused by that extra room being open. So I apologize that you guys got that on your screen.
Thank you. Also, when you, Mr. Secretary, if you want to make me co-host again, and then
I think let me
once
see
you
if
get the thing.
he's not host now because there was a problem. So let me make the secretary. Where is the secretary?
So I think he's technically already co-host.
Yeah, but you're also co-host. She needs to make you host.
Oh, I see.
Let me see if I can make host.
And then I'm going to close all rooms. I think you made me host instead of him.
Oh.
I mean, it's not a problem.
Well, if y'all could take care of it and demote me, I'd appreciate it.
Let me, let's see. There we go. You'll need to make me co-host again.
We're still technically between meetings, right?
For like 10 more seconds.
I have
All
a
right.
question then.
Heck yeah.
Madam Griffin, Madam Vice Chair.
Since we're
I hope when you come back that everybody will say what can be disclosed from the secret meeting.
that was going to be my question is there a way to give a very general update of what was discussed, since usually that has been the norm, that we just say, here's what we talked about that can be revealed, or is it your opinion that there's nothing there?
It's my opinion that I can say we discussed the New Mexico litigation. We discussed litigation against McCardle. We discussed issues with the FEC, and we discussed board member behavior. There you go.
Any sunset clause on the secrecy for these 3 items?
Nope. And you can go ahead and mute yourself, Star Child.
I would encourage there to be a sunset clause. Thank you.
Mr. Secretary, is everybody back?
Well, it looks like all the rooms have been closed, so while they may not be back, they're definitely not in the rooms.
Okay, I think, let me look here.
They probably hit the wrong button.
I do, but I think I see.
Should we call roll again?
I think that would be within order. But I'll need to call the meeting back to order. Are you ready, Mr. Secretary? And then just prepare yourself. We'll call roll again just to make sure everybody's here.
Give me a second.
Is this business, Mr. Mahunush, before we get back to order, or?
I was just going to announce that for the next item, I'm going to be replaced by my alternate.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hanush.
Thank you.
All right, I'm ready to go.
Okay, it is 8:54, and we are now back to the regular session from executive session at 8:54 p.m. Eastern. Go ahead, Mr. Secretary, if you can call the roll to confirm who's in the room.
Mr. Koffel.
Present.
Mr. Hirsch. Mr. Hirsch. All right.
He's in the room, but he's muted.
Oh.
Perhaps come back to him at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Danke.
Present.
Miss Leatherman.
Here.
Mr. Flores.
Here.
Mr. Phillips.
Here.
Vice Chair Griffiths.
Present.
Mr. Hanush.
Present.
Mr. Requero.
I'm still here.
Ms. Hayes.
Still here.
Ms. Wigington.
Present.
Ms. Hogarth.
Here.
Mr. Bost.
Here.
Treasurer Neville.
Present.
Mr. Longstreth.
Present.
Mr. Martin is unavailable because he's been ejected. Ms. Fintish. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I didn't either. She's here. Miss Fintish, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry, I was muted. I am here.
Okay, there we
Thank
go.
you. I am here, Mr. Nikela.
I am present.
Ms. Nguyen.
Here.
Mr. Redpath.
I'm hanging on.
As we all are. Ms. Robson. Ms. Robson.
Oh shoot, sorry. I was muted on the thingy.
No
yeah,
idea.
I'm still here. Sorry about that.
But if you want to really just see the despicable
here.
stuff that Bryce supports, go
Mr. Shaw.
look at the So to
Present.
Speak caucus on
Mr.
Twitter.
Ford.
Here.
Mr. Thompson.
Here.
Mr. McMahon. Sorry, Chair
Present.
McMahon.
Yes, I'm present.
Mr. Chair, we have 17
18.
members present, along with 8 alternates.
We have 18 voting members.
18 voting members, but yes.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We will move on. Vice Chair Griffiths.
Yes. So I believe everyone has received the motion for the policy manual amendment. As was said during public comment, this is what it used to look like. This is what it looked like almost identical in 2022. It was only recently changed. And what this basically does is it gives, I don't know if Ms. Hogarth is there a point of order?
No, I'm just waiting to speak on the motion.
Okay, sorry. I thought I heard you talking. So yes, what this does is it gives affiliates more agency, or would-be affiliates more agency when they're forming. What it does not do is it does not require the LNC to accept any application from an affiliate, or petition rather. It doesn't require the LNC to reject any petition from an affiliate. So if the LNC believes that a petitioning affiliate does not meet the requirements, does not serve the principles of the LP, or that its convention was held in bad faith, that it was constituted in bad faith, that can still be rejected. But what this does is it makes things a little bit more flexible and gives more power to affiliates when it comes time to form, when it comes time to petition, and it keeps things consistent with the bylaws.
So you're, I'm sorry, I apologize. I should have cut you off. You spoke to your motion. You're moving the motion.
Darn it, yes.
To adopt the policy manual amendment. Is there a second?
Yes.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded. I'm going to consider that you already spoke to
Yes.
your Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr.
On deck, I have Ms. Hogarth, Mr. Shaw, and Ms. Fintesh, and then Mr. Longstreth. Ms. Hogarth.
First, unless it's changed from how I saw it presented, there's a sentence, the last sentence doesn't, or next to last doesn't, it seems to refer back to something in the part they crossed out. But bigger than that, I think changing the process for affiliate formation while we're in the middle of disaffiliating a group and then looking for new affiliates is super bad optics and not very consonant. with, it just looks like stuff's, being manipulated for a particular goal. I don't know if that's the case. I assume that everyone thinks, or the people proposing this think that it's the best solution. I don't see the extra burden. I do think that national members should be required to be invited. So, I'm going to vote against any change to the policy manual at this time.
I will say, Ms. Hogarth, that the last two lines that are not struck are not part of the original language from 22. But other than that, the first line is, but yes, the last two lines that were not struck were also additional lines that were added in and around 2022. Mr. Shaw, then Ms. Fintish, then Mr. Longstreth, then Ms. Nguyen. Mr. Shaw.
All right, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
So I would like to make a motion to amend. I would like to amend this to unstrike the section that says the LNC shall only consider a petition for affiliation if, and the entirety of number 2. So I would like to motion to amend by removing the strikes from those.
I'll second that.
It was moved by Mr. Shaw, seconded by Ms. Fintish. Any discussion on the amendment?
Yeah, I can speak to the reasoning if you'd like.
Sure. Go ahead, Mr. Shaw.
Yeah, I mean, for something like this, if a new affiliate's going to be created, it seems reasonable that there should be some kind of notice to the members that are present in that area. It's just common sense.
I'm going to ask, hold on, before I do this, I have Ms. Fintish, Mr. Longstreth, Ms. Nguyen. Mr. Ricchiro, were you wanting to speak towards the amendment or the main motion?
I was going to raise a point of information or a point of parliamentary privilege.
Okay, go ahead.
Could we get the language on screen?
Yes, Mr. Secretary, if you could put the language up on the screen.
And I'll put my hand down.
Thank you. If I can have everybody else, please place your hands down. I have you in order to come back to speak towards the main motion. Ms. Nguyen, if you could put your hand down. Okay, now those who would like to speak on the amendment, the Shaw amendment.
I had a weird line
I
I
have
couldn't
Mr.
get out of a
Longstreth
Word
and then Ms.
document.
Fintish.
That's
Mr.
the one thing
Longstreth.
AI is good for.
Yes, thank you, Mr.
Telling
Chair.
you how to fix
when it comes to,
Word
the proposed
problems.
amendment, my viewpoint on this is, on the one hand, yes, reasonable notice should be communicated to national party members. On the other hand, I firmly believe in state autonomy and the affiliate autonomy being able to do what they feel is correct to bring their affiliation packet forward. And part of that may be in their mind not doing that for some reason, although I can't conceive a reason why. And that would fall to this board then to decide if the petition was done in good faith, if it met the requirements that we expected or wanted to see observed or what have you. And when I say we, I mean the LNC as a whole, whether that's this term, next term, 20 years down the road, if we become an imperial nation, who knows how many states wind up trying to affiliate down the road. So I think that, in my opinion, it is best to leave this to the LNC at the time, given the circumstances that they observe and the things that are going on at that time when an affiliate or when a potential affiliate petitions. So for that reason, I'm not going to vote in favor of this amendment, although I won't be terribly upset if it passes either.
Thank you, Mr. Longstreth. Ms. Fintish, then Mr. Ricchiro, then Mr. Shaw.
Thank you,
Ms.
Mr. Chair. And to echo Mr. Longstreth a little bit, it seems, I don't want to say inappropriate, but we are currently dealing with the LP New Hampshire appeal. It seems like it would make the most sense and be the most accurate way of going about things to keep the policy manual the way that it was during that time dealing with those affiliates. Changing the policy manual while we are in the middle of litigation
Not in the
seems,
middle of
wildly
litigation.
inappropriate.
Oh,
I
I
think if something like
think
this wanted to come after this issue is resolved, then we could address that.
we're not in
But as
litigation.
of right now, I
Was
would be
that a
very much
slip?
opposed.
Thank you, Ms. Fintish. Mr. Ricuro.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So as we're seeing this on the screen right now, I see number 1 being struck out. Is that the amendment?
This is the amendment to the amendment. So it would basically the only thing that would be struck under the Shaw amendment would be, this is an amendment to the amendment. So this, the only thing that would be struck under the Shaw amendment would be number 1. Under the original amendment, it would be number 1 and number 2. So he's removed and the section
The LNC
shall consider a petition for affiliation if that is kept in, and then number 2, which would obviously be renumbered.
Okay.
By the
thank you
way,
for the
this could always be
clarification. So I
suspended by
rise
a
in
2/3
opposition to
vote.
this then because I support the original motion. Just because of the reasons that the vice chair stated, it really clarifies things. I think that the concerns of what's going on with New Hampshire and just how it all looks, I think this amendment actually makes it look more like that. So let's go back to the original thing, which is more fair. So that's where I stand. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw.
Yes. I don't know, as a matter of principle, I really don't think that the LNC should be affiliating any organization that hasn't basically given notice to everybody in the area that they're looking to represent. I mean, that's very basic. Like, somebody comes to us and says, hey, we would like to be affiliated. I don't think that it's unreasonable to simply ask or make sure that the members in that area that's looking to get affiliated were notified.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. I'm going to speak for a second and then I'll recognize you again, Ms. Fintish. There's no mechanism for anybody outside of the LNC to notify National Party members. I don't know that we can give a list to anyone. How they would go about doing that in the first place. But also just a point that was raised. To be clear, we did disaffiliate. We do not have a New Hampshire affiliate. They are appealing that decision. Should that disaffiliation be upheld, like right now, we're not in the process of considering a new affiliate. I think it's in order for us to, during a period between accepting or hoping that a new affiliate pops up in a state. I think it's in order to set policy manual amendments for that process. That's just my opinion. Ms. Fintish.
I just have a point of privilege. I need to jump onto my phone and open up Zoom on there. If I leave the meeting, come back, like, I'll be able to come back in, correct?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
just make
I'm
sure
going to
you
do
use
that.
the same
All
link.
right.
Okay.
Thank you.
That is correct.
I'm just going to give it a second for her to do that and come back in. Is there any other discussion on this amendment?
Point of order.
Mr. Secretary?
Until Ms. Fintish is back, I don't think that's appropriate.
She already spoke. She actually, so if there's any other discussion, I'm fine with that moving forward. We're not going to proceed to the vote until she's back. Mr. Boss.
Understood.
I did want to reiterate, if I may, that we did note that the last unstricken portion with, as Ms. Hogarth mentioned, I want to make sure we take that issue up before we close all the amendments.
Okay. I'm not sure what you're asking, Mr. Bost.
I think I'm passing it at the wrong time. We're still on the amendment to the amendment?
Correct.
Okay, then this is not technically pertinent right now.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bost. Mr. Shaw.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I would just like to ask that the vote on this amendment be by roll call.
It will be. That's why he's got it on the screen. I'm assuming that's why he has it on the screen.
I don't know why there'd be any other reason.
Okay. Hearing no additional discussion, I'm going to lower your hand, Mr. Shaw. We'll move to a vote. This is on the amendment to the amendment, so it would unstrike the LNC shall only consider a petition for affiliation if, and it unstrikes clause 2 from being stricken from the original amendment. Is everybody clear? Okay, go ahead and call the roll, Mr. Chair or Mr. Secretary. I just tried to promote you.
Mr. Koffel.
I will vote no.
Mr. Danke.
No.
Mr. Flores.
No.
Vice Chair Griffiths.
No.
Mr. Hanoush.
Nope, he yielded to Mr. Ricciero.
Mr. Requero.
I vote no.
Ms. Hayes.
No.
Ms. Hogarth.
No, sorry.
Treasurer Nebel.
Nay.
Mr. Longstreth.
Nay. Sorry. Nay.
Ms. Fintish.
No.
I also will vote no. Mr. Nikela.
I abstain.
I hope you guys don't mind me working while there's
Miss Wynn.
downtime.
No.
Time is at
Mr.
such a
Redpath.
premium.
Ms. Robson.
No.
She said
Mr.
no.
Shaw.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson.
No.
Mr. Chair, the vote is 1 in favor, 15 opposed, 1 abstention.
I abstain as well.
So the
So
final
we-
vote is 1 in favor, 15 against, and 2 abstentions.
The amendment to the amendment fails. We go back to discussion on the main motion. And on deck in order, I had Ms. Fintish, Mr. Longstreth, and then Ms. Wynn. So Ms. Fintish.
I will
Mr.
give up. my
I'm sorry,
hand.
Mr. Chair. I think we're out of time on this item.
We are. I was going to, at my turn, move to extend time.
How long? Make your motion to extend time.
Motion to extend time by 10 minutes.
Okay.
Second.
Is there any objection to?
I
extend
will
time
object to
by
10
minutes?
minutes. I
Object.
object.
Okay, all those in favor of extending by 10 minutes, say aye,
Aye.
Aye.
or raise your hands, I guess, hands raised.
They're not. Oh, virtual hands.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, as a point of personal privilege and one that may help you in the body as well, if I may.
go ahead, Mr. Longstreth.
So on the React buttons where we can raise hands, there is a check mark for yeses and a red mark for nos. If you saw my name, you will see that that has changed as I do it. That might help to be able to track yes and nos at the same time.
I think under parliamentary procedure, I'm required to ask them separately.
Understood.
So I have, oops. That to me was time. So I have 4 yeses. Put your hands down. Put your hand down, Ms. Fintish. I'll help you.
Roll
There you go.
call is faster.
All those opposed to extending time by 10 minutes, raise your hand.
I always roll called. It was faster.
Okay, yeah. We are not extending time, sorry. So we will move to a vote. Go ahead, Mr. Secretary, and move to a vote.
They voted down the amendment already.
First of
So,
all, can everyone
the
see
amendment
screen?
to the amendment? So now they are doing the
All right.
amendment to the policy manual. It's
Koffel.
not a typical amendment.
Aye.
It's a main motion. An amendment can be a main motion
Mr.
because this
Danke.
is an amend something previously adopted.
Mr. Flores.
No.
So they weren't on a tertiary.
Vice Chair Griffiths.
Aye.
Mr. Requero.
Aye.
Ms. Hayes.
Yes.
Ms. Hogarth.
No.
Treasurer Neville.
Aye.
Mr. Longstreth.
Yes.
Ms. Fintish.
No.
I will pass. Mr. Nikela.
I will pass.
Ms. Nguyen.
Yes.
Mr. Redpath.
Yes.
Ms. Robson.
Yes.
Mr. Shaw.
No.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
I will vote yes.
I'll vote yes as well.
Mr. Chair, the vote is 13 in favor, 4 against.
I will
Passes.
abstain.
So the final vote is 13 in favor, 4 against, 1 abstention.
The motion to amend passes.
The amendment, Eutychus
Mr.
Flex,
Hanush.
is
I am
to
not
amend the
defeated.
policy manual
Thank you, Mr.
to
Hanush. I
eliminate
figured that's
some
why I had your hand
excess
up.
language. Excess has a judgment call. To amend the language
Vice Chair.
on how petition for affiliations are handled.
I'm sorry.
To remove some of the
Did I have
process
another? Oh,
to
no.
make it what it
So in the
was
interest of moving things
prior to
along, I'll move the
2022.
next item on the agenda and move to executive session as well.
Is
Oh
there a second?
no, that should have been done the first time.
Okay. Any objection to moving into executive session for discussion on this item? Okay, hearing none, we will move into executive session at 9:17. Go ahead and set it up, Mr. Secretary.
So we are
Please note-
officially between meetings.
Yeah. And please note that room 1 is still somewhat active. Please do not enter room 1. Room 2 is the breakout room. So LNC members, please enter room 2. Everyone else, please stay out here. Otherwise, you will be stranded in room 1 with no one to talk to.
I think I hit the wrong button.
Oh. I could still move you to the room though. Nope, you're good. Hey, you made it. That's good.
Are you
Okay.
making me co-host, Mr. Secretary?
Thank you for reminding me.
I can't move to the room. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a
got it.
little janky tonight. There we go. That should do it.
Yep, thank you.
Alrighty.
Ms. Harless, are we back to raising hands, or are we
I'm
dispensing
looking
with
away
the?
to move to the room.
Oh, who
Are we
was that?
dispensing with the rules?
It's Sonia.
It's
I'm not
not-
sure.
it's not-
I don't normally do it from my phone, so I'm
You guys hold on a second. Let me help Sonia.
Thank you.
I can
Recording
move.
stopped.
I believe I can move you. I think it's room 2.
Okay.
Yep, she's
Oh,
gone.
wait. Oh, wait.
It's not
no,
letting
I'm
me
not.
move.
Oh,
to
it's
room
not.
2.
Oh, it's not room 2.
Yeah,
Let me.
it popped up for a second, then it went away.
Let me try again then.
Thank you.
Oh, I don't see you. Hold on. I don't see you in this room anymore.
Well, but it says
It-
that. Oh, wait.
It's so weird. It's like the computer. It says Sonia Fangic in the executive set. There, she left. Okay. Pat Ford needs to be moved.
I need to be
Sign 2.
moved to. Thank you.
Who else needed it?
I need to be moved to the break or wherever is not the executive.
Oh no, you're in the right room, Christian, or
Oh, I
whoever
am?
that
Okay.
was. Yeah, it was just the LNC members that get moved.
Okay, cool.
So Karen Ann, are we back to hands, or are we resetting the rules and assuming civility?
It wasn't even lack of civility before, it was eagerness. I presume everyone can just talk and not talk over each other. And I'm going to be gone for a couple minutes because I need to use the bathroom. I do hope when I come back, all hell hasn't broken loose.
Wait, did the secretary get moved over?
I
Yes.
have not been.
Oh, let me
Mr.
see.
Secretary, we don't want you here. Go away.
I don't see.
I appreciate your vote of support.
I want you here. I know nobody else does, but
Is
I
it the
do.
same problem as before?
It's the same problem.
It is.
Not the hosting again?
All right,
To
cool.
be fair, Mr. Secretary, I did vote for you, so I want you there, not here.
I appreciate that. So I guess I'm gonna have to try restarting the Zoom. Oh well. Glad you're not the only host now. I'll be back in a moment.
Okay, and I'll wait to get you in that room.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
Zoom is really, really janky tonight.
So you're saying it's not zooming?
It's not zooming.
Okay.
While this is going on, did someone catch the what point 2 was, the agenda item for which they went into executive session?
It was
no idea.
It was legal. It was to increase the legal budget.
Ah, thank you.
I'm not.
I think it's supposed to be increased to like 80,000. It said,
yes,
if I recall right.
Yeah, it was to increase, and it didn't say what for.
I mean, so this is a budgetary item rather than political strategy or legal matters. I guess you could vaguely connect it to that, but it's interesting.
I think the reason this part has to be an executive session is because they're going to discuss what the 80,000 would be for,
yes,
and that will involve some legal. When they go to actually make the budget amendment, it would be to move whatever number they come up with to or to have that budget increase.
Let me see if I can move him now. LNC secretary assigned to, let's see.
Thank you so much.
Are you? Yes, he just went to piggyback on Steve. It's not it's. Let me give you a corollary example that I think will help. When they are going to approve a contract for some staff, they will say they're going to go into executive session to discuss contractual issues, and then when they come out, they approve the contract. So this is kind of the same. They have legal issues, whatever they might be, that require additional funding. They're going to talk about what they are and perhaps how they're allocated. I am guessing. I don't have any secret information here. And then when they come out, they're going to approve the budget. And I hope, though, that anything that can be discussed publicly is. I am really disappointed in the last executive session because I find it very difficult to believe that more couldn't be said publicly. I find it very difficult.
Well, I do just want to say really quickly that Mr. Hall, out of all of the changes in the organization, the continuity of the institution, Mr. Hall has been through it with us for a while. And I just want to say I appreciate him and his patience.
I will say, obviously, I understand why they went into executive session, but I think we all know what they're planning on increasing that budget for.
Oh, it's to sue Arizona.
Yeah, obviously, it's to sue Arizona.
It's to make it's Paisley, man. We need to get rid of that frickin' Paisley.
What did Paisley ever do to hurt you, Karen Ann?
And I'm going to say something contra to Bryce. There might be a guess on what some of that is. I actually don't think we know what all of it is. And I think potentially some of that has to do with the threats made by the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire, which I don't think has entered anyone's mind here. And there's been threats made on Discord. And also the New Mexico budget. It could have something to do with that. Others are speculating it has to do with McCardle. That certainly is a possibility, but I don't think we know. I think either of those three, a combination of them, are certainly possible, but there could literally be something we don't know about.
Well, Karen Ann, I do want to say I wasn't trying to imply that it was over any one particular item, but I do think it's a pretty open secret what the items are that they're planning on extending that budget for. And New Mexico is one of them.
And I think New Hampshire is one of them. And again,
New Hampshire probably is one of them because New Hampshire is likely, I don't want to say they're going to, but I would expect that they plan to file suit if they lose the appeal. I would say McCardle is definitely it. I think it's those three items in perpetuity. Yeah.
I am curious. Historically, has the LNC supported any state with ballot access litigation?
Yes, multiple times.
Yes.
And they're doing it right now with the recognized affiliate in New Mexico. Very small dollar amount, but they assisted in Georgia, I believe, when Martin Cohen. And back when Nick was chair, there were multiple times I recall reading, because the LNC has to. I was on the executive committee, approved the initiation. So yeah, multiple times.
Okay. But see, the time period that comes to mind is when Starwark was chair and Arizona was going through its hellscape and the lack thereof of support as he lived here and was experiencing it firsthand. That was fun. That will always rub me the wrong way with Starwark.
In 2008, I was the dummy candidate in Massachusetts because the Secretary of the Commonwealth had asserted in writing that we could do substitution. When it came time to ask for the substitution, he said, "Oh, no, we didn't mean that." And so we sued. And at some point, the National Party covered matters for a piece, but most of the matter was done either by the ACLU or pro bono by a major law firm. The total cost of that litigation would reasonably be approximately $250,000 because we got to the Supreme Court. And the important result was that Barr and Root were on the Massachusetts ballot.
I'd like to. I'm sorry. Continue, George. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, I'm sorry. I'm somewhat slow-spoken. Having said that, I will pose a slightly different question. What was the legal budget before they proposed increasing it to 80,000?
I don't know. And they're not proposing increasing it to 80. They're proposing to 80. They're proposing increasing it by 80.
You're saying it's increased by 80?
I can answer George's question though, because the last time it got amended happened when I was on the LNC. It's $50,000.
Oh, thank you, Bryce. So it was 50 and now it will be 130?
Yes.
Thank you.
If it passes.
Well, there's always
I'm sure it will. But
now, if I can jump in here a second. So I've got something to say about if New Hampshire loses its appeal and they decide to sue. I think that will be one of the most stupidest decisions they ever made. And I'll say why. And I can do that because I'm not in the LNC. The most it's going to cost the LNC is $20,000 because their insurance carrier will cover it under E&O coverage. And insurance carriers, when they have to pay for attorneys, there's not going to be any softness or kindness or squeamishness, if there is any conceivable route for them to recoup their attorney's fees. And I don't know the fee shifting burdens in whatever jurisdiction it might come in, but I hope there is a lot and they get it right up the wazoo. Ms. Danner.
I'm just here to state that I'm really happy that we were still able to get a candidate on the ballot this year in New Hampshire.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Nathan.
Hi, Rachel. Congratulations.
Hi, George. Thank you for your donation, George.
And also 4% for that, and 4% in that race will get that group ballot status. Obviously, it'll be up to them to decide what they want to do with that, but they can earn ballot status from that.
That's not how it works.
It says Libertarian Party on the petition form. I think that would default to the LNC being able to put a candidate on in 2028.
I have a question for George and Rachel, since Rachel's here now, but because I've been cogitating on what George said earlier. Taking as true, and I'm not saying you wouldn't tell me anything that's true, I'm confessing my ignorance. Taking as true, if he gets 4%, that the candidate would be able to appoint the state committee. Would it behoove the LNC to wait, if this is presuming a lot of ifs, presuming that's the case, and presuming if New Hampshire loses the JC case and there then no affiliate in New Hampshire, would it behoove the LNC to wait until after the November election to see if he gets 4%? This is a lot of hypotheticals, but I've been thinking about this the whole time and was curious of your opinion, George.
Justin has expertise pertaining to New Hampshire election law.
Is Justin here? But I'd like to hear, because George and I were talking about this earlier.
I'm right here, Karen Ann.
Oh, okay. So, George, did you want to answer that? And then we go to Justin?
You asked an interesting question to which I do not immediately know an answer. The first answer is creating an affiliate before November doesn't do anything that I can think of. The LNC could still support Mr. Valley's campaign with some sort of legal limits, since he's a non-federal candidate, whether there's an affiliate or not. It might be worthwhile to wait until the litigation with LPNH, if there is any, is settled. So I'd say there's no real hurry, because affiliation doesn't really do much.
Okay, I was just curious. And plus, we're in August. The JC hearing is what, August 10th? Then we're looking later in August. Like, it's then be a couple months before November. So I was just curious. Now, Justin, and then Steve had his hand raised, but Justin?
So if the candidate gets 4%, the state recognizes the Libertarian Party. The candidate does not get to pick a committee. The state has no rules about how a committee is picked. In Massachusetts, the candidate gets to pick a committee. That's how it works there.
Okay.
And we ran into that a couple times when I lived in Massachusetts. George and I used to disagree a lot on how to do things back then. We've come a long way getting along. But what will happen is, so long as LPNH calls themselves the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire, and they're the pre-existing business entity known as the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire, their chair is who the Secretary of State is going to default to. So the LNC is going to be incumbent on the LNC and the new affiliate to sue over the name if once the Libertarian Party has ballot access. Now, what the party's powers are, George is correct, is very minimal. It's very inconsequential what the party can do. So the fact is, if Kaufman is the chair of the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire, according to the state of New Hampshire, there's very, very little he can do meaningfully. But notably, if the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire is a major party, there will be a Libertarian presidential primary as part of the first in the nation primary. And that's the $1 million media circus that any candidate who pays the $1,000 filing fee will get at least a couple $100,000 of free earned media just by being here for, which is something I've been trying to advocate that the LP should focus on for years. But The only actual power that Kaufman would have if he retains the name Libertarian Party is after the primary elections in September of the next election cycle. If there is a vacancy, the state party chair can just appoint a candidate to run in the general election for a state rep or state senate seats. But they can't kick anyone off the ballot. They can't do anything like that. And they can't control who registers Libertarian or who runs as Libertarian. They just have the ability to appoint vacancies after the primary.
Hey, thank you, Steve.
I just want to say that I'm pretty sure that the LNC cannot directly support a candidate for governor because it's not federal. The only kind of gray area there that we're able to exploit is for getting a candidate on the ballot where there is a ballot access aspect. So, for example, if we're qualifying a candidate to get on the ballot who can gain ballot access for the party and our presidential nomination by doing that, then there's kind of that makes it a federal issue for us. But if it's straightforward supporting the candidate to get the votes, I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to do that directly. What we can do is publicize that the candidate's running and encourage people to visit their website, at which point they can make the case for the fundraising.
And thank you, Steve. I feel weird like putting you in line since you're executive director, but I'm the hall monitor here.
Hey, that and that and what $4 gets me a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah. Nathan.
Yeah, I just since they came back in the middle of the discussion earlier, I want to kind of close that out, do the tail end of that. We were talking about the anarchist-minarchist divide and the Dallas Accord, not Accord, and its impact on the health and well-being of the party over the years. And I would just like to say, as somebody who is a reluctant minarchist, my North Star is anarchism. I find the divide to be very inconsequential to the modern political environment. I think that anarchic Puritanism. How do I say this? Puritanism. Let's go with that. It does. I mean, it's a North Star thing. I look at it like we're all on the same train. We just get off at different stops. And so I think that minarchists are useful coalition partners. They are libertarian for the most part, except where they are authoritarian. And I think that there's a degree of, it's not a gulf, it's not a canyon in between us. It's just we believe that the state should shrink to different levels. I think it's 0, and other people think it's 1 or 2. It's whatever. What I think the real issue is people co-opting the libertarian brand and then advocating for expansion of the state in any way, right? Because even the most liberal minarchist doesn't believe that anything that the state is currently doing needs to be done more. And so I think that we really do need to come together and work towards reduction, if not abolishment. Can't win this alone.
Thank you, Nathan. Rachel.
My only response to that as a dedicated anarchist is that I have noticed there's a certain strain within groups of people who consider themselves libertarian that expand the minarchist position into well, they say the state should protect life and life, liberty, property. No, not just the immigration stuff. But I've seen people adopt a very brutalistic view towards policing. I mean, Kaufman, for example, but
this isn't uncommon. You had Lou Rockwell's '90s Unleash the Police articles. So that's my only critique of Minarchist is that if they don't dedicate themselves to non-state solutions before state solutions, that they end up being very brutalistic in their enforcement of the NAP.
Thank you, Rachel. I think my turn was next. I agree with Nathan that I think the divide is really minuscule at this point. I actually think it has been since the 70s. I don't ever think it's been the issue that we like to make it to be because we are so far apart. I'm going to say two things I don't like. First, I'll criticize my own tribe. I don't like when anarchists want to purge minarchists, and now I'll criticize the other. I don't like the other either. I have always been that way, and I believe that I'll always remain that way. It's been a super long time, but I'm going to push back a tiny bit on Rachel. I do completely agree with you that it's sometimes life, liberty, property, and culture, or whatever it might be, and whiteness when it comes to some of the other things. But I think anarchists also have a problem with brutalism, not in using the state, just in having freaking no empathy. And I've done presentations on this at convention. The first time I did it was in the Libertarian Party of Kansas, where really took the side, though Jeffrey Tucker has kind of deviated from this and become a little bit brutalist himself. But I think that article he did against libertarian brutalism is excellent, because I do think both pathways are libertarian, but the one is dystopian. Libertarian dystopia is possible, and anarchists sometimes just do not see this and just advocate for like the worst possible impulses. And I do firmly believe, and anyone can be mad at me if they want, that the Libertarian Party as a political movement has to be a little bit thick, because the absolute survival of the fittest argument is not going to appeal to enough people to ever get anywhere. And that's where I talk about that whole thing about the question on who will build the roads is not about roads. What people are ultimately asking, who is going to make sure that the weakless and most helpless among us aren't going to die in the streets? And if we can't answer that with other than, well, it sucks to be you, which is what ultimately a lot of anarchists do, we're not going to get anywhere, and we're shitty people. Sorry, something I'm passionate about.
I agree with all of those critiques of certain types of anarchists.
Appreciate it, Rachel. And I knew you would, but you know the types I'm talking about. George, and then Steve, and then Rachel again.
I will pose a specific question to Rachel, and I believe Justin was here someplace. And my question is, has anyone in the Valley group discussed with the Secretary of State of New Hampshire what his opinion on the topic is?
We've had competing slates before. We had in 2016 candidates not supported by LPNH got the 4%, and LPNH became the major party. It's a non-issue in reality because voter registration, unlike Massachusetts, where the state party controls a lot of things about the nomination process, the state party in New Hampshire doesn't actually control much at all about nomination at all. They cannot put anyone on the ballot, like I said, except in the circumstances of a vacancy after a primary. So it's likely going to default that the Libertarian Party, he'll recognize the existing Libertarian Party, whatever that is, and he'll refuse to make a ruling on it like he's done in the past until two organizations claiming to be the Libertarian Party both submit a candidate for nomination. In which case, if two organizations submit a candidate for nomination as the Libertarian for president in 2028, then he's going to default to which one has the certificate of nomination from the National Party. He called me. Actually, with Steve, I got reached out to by somebody who had been reached out to by the Secretary of State's office And then I was able to coordinate with the Secretary of State's office to get the certificates of nomination after some balls were dropped at the national level and the state level. And the state party and the national party both refused to answer the Secretary of State's emails. And I was able to get assistance from some LNC members who I won't throw under the bus for helping me, and other people for getting those certificates to the Secretary of State because he was willing to deal with me directly, knowing that LPNH wasn't worth bothering with.
I
That's
should
very
probably
different
call
than
Scanlon to figure out.
Yeah. I do plan on calling the Secretary of State and arranging a meeting once we have our convention planning and everything, just to run by the process. But we've already filed for permission to establish the Granite State Libertarian Party, and he already gave me permission to establish that organization. We're just waiting till we have a board elected to do it.
Yeah, because John Baby ours was concerned the SOS might not be okay with us using the word libertarian for an organization, so we took proactive steps on figuring out if that was still possible.
Is Philly the candidate of Libertarian Party or Granite State Libertarian?
He is the candidate for Libertarian Party, not Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. We were relying on that distinction, being what gives them a vagueness at the end.
Minor clarification.
Yep.
In Massachusetts,
Yeah.
if you were a minor party, the state committee has no say whatsoever about who runs for office. In fact, at least at one time, the position of the Secretary of State was that if he was presented with two sets of nominating papers for, say, president, both people would be on the ballot. As happened in New Hampshire in 2008.
Yeah, and that's still the position of the Secretary of State of New Hampshire. If we are in a position where we need to petition, which of note, there might be, there's a bill that was just submitted in New Hampshire, which may make all of this a moot point anyways when it comes to ballot access. So we have two things coming up. They're moving the date of the petitioning thresholds up by 3 months, starting in the next cycle, which is going to make it virtually impossible if we have to petition again. But they are also proposed a bill to say that any candidate who does not participate in the presidential primary in January will be ineligible to be nominated by a major party for ballot access in the November election and must petition their 3,000 petitions. And they're submitting this bill to punish the DNC, which just told its candidates they're not allowed to participate in New Hampshire.
Okay, and Steve has been patiently waiting. Steve?
All right, now I got to remember what the hell I was going to say. Oh,
Getting old sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I'll
We're
probably
all
remember
doing
here,
it.
and then I'll get back in line.
What time did they go into executive session? Wasn't it 7:19?
No, it was sometime after 9.
Well, I meant Colorado time.
I believe it was 9:17 their time.
Right, so that'd be 7:17 my time. It was supposed to be 30 minutes, so they're over.
Well, for the record, you're on the wrong mountain time.
No, we are correct, and hopefully we will all be on daylight savings time soon.
No. Arizona's been correct this whole time. We don't need the feds to change us.
Oh, I think Arizona should.
The correct time is Greenwich Mean Time or Universal Time. UTC is correct. There's no reason to have time zones.
In a rare occurrence, I'm with Kyle on this one.
Heretic.
Welcome to being correct, David. It's nice, isn't it?
We could also emulate the Saudis where legal time is local solar time. So if you were a distance east and west, like a mile or two, your time is different.
No,
your
thank
legal
you.
time.
Frankly, I just think that the prime meridian being set by the British, they're not the world power anymore. They shouldn't be able to dictate what we do.
I don't care if Arizona stays on its own. I can tell you my actual preference is we just leave things the fuck alone. Everybody's a little bit, let's leave Arizona out of this discussion. Not you personally, Nathan, just everywhere else, everyone's a little bit unhappy, and that's better right now. If they switch to permanent standard or permanent daylight, or just make it a half an hour and keep it the same. That's kind of where I land. But if you're going to ask me my personal preference, it's daylight.
Rachel, I was out of the meeting for a bit. I missed the first part of the conversation. Are you running for an office in New Hampshire?
And Rachel has her
No,
hand up.
I'm the campaign manager for a governor candidate.
Who's that?
Stephen Valet.
Is he the other one who was talking on your line a minute ago?
No, that was Justin O'Donnell.
Oh, okay. And so you guys have an application in with the LNC to form a new affiliate?
No, we don't. We were discussing that we were seeking permission from the Secretary of State to use the term libertarian because we were either going to form a PAC to support running candidates, if there wasn't a viable way to form a new party.
There's some talk in the LNC meeting, like some people didn't want to notify everybody that there was an attempt to form a new affiliate.
I can say that in New Hampshire in particular, we have problems with people who are like explicitly Republicans coming to our convention.
If they are explicitly registered Republican, the current bylaws allow it. Well, I guess there are.
Well, the
okay, we're not going to
bylaws
have
that the old
crosstalk.
LPNH did.
Okay, we're going to do the turns again. Rachel, finish your thought, and then we'll go to Star Child. And people, please raise your hands.
Well, yeah, registered Republicans and elected Republicans coming to the conventions in New Hampshire has been a problem for a long time, and it's how we got in this situation. And there's nothing in the national bylaws that precludes someone from being a full member while they're a member of another party. So like in New Hampshire particularly, like if we were to form a new party, we would want to have bylaws that kept out for registered people from another party, be it Republican or Democrat. Democrats haven't taken an interest here, but maybe they will in other states.
Okay, Star Child, then Nathan.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering if you have a list of like who you think the people are who are solid libertarians in New Hampshire, what your game plan is. I'd like to help you because I think your state is absolutely critical because of the Free State Project and being, by most measures, the freest state in the country. I've actually suggested, the LP might even want to have the headquarters in New Hampshire if we have a physical headquarters. I think it's critical we get the party back on track there, and I'd like to do what I can to help, as a possible future resident as well.
Well, I hope you end up moving.
Well, right now I'd like to just help what I can do from afar, but it's hard to get a handle on what's going on there. Can you send me your number so I can maybe call you after, or you call me and we can have a conversation and I can learn more about the lay of the land?
Yeah. I can do that. I'm in contact.
I'll give you my number now. I don't mind sharing it publicly if you don't mind calling me.
Okay.
415-573-7997. And I'm sorry I can't put it in the chat because the chat's not open, unfortunately, which is something they should fix.
Could you just repeat that?
415-573-7997.
Okay, thank you. I'm in contact with like every previous state chair that I could track down or candidate. So
Okay.
yeah, that's the process for starting a new party, is that we just have to like find all the people that we know are interested and then start recruiting with campaigns.
You know, Jeff Eunice, Aubrey Friedman.
Okay, you guys, please don't do crosstalk because there are people waiting in line. So if you want to finish your comments, Starcha.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, Steve, and then George, then Nathan.
I just want to say,
I think I was next.
Okay, Nathan, then Steve, then George. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to point out that it would be great to have some sort of, you know, CRM or data infrastructure that would have some sort of continuity between, you know, libertarian organizations. It would be phenomenal to have that. In fact, it may still exist, and you should ask for it.
Hey, Steve.
Let me actually, I'll briefly touch on Nathan's thing and then I'll go back to the main point. Yes, that we did have that and it got killed. And so that's where we are right now. As far as what Rachel was talking about banning, making people who are registered Republican or Democrat not be eligible. New Hampshire has that weird thing where people can be registered independent, show up at the polls, vote in a primary, change their registration to Republican or Democrat, vote in the primary, and change it back to independent as they walk out. So you probably should also include, as far as at least for your officer positions, not having voted in the most recent Republican or Democratic primary. Because otherwise you'll get these people that are on paper independents, but they're not really.
Hey, George.
I should expand, but I'll wait.
I was going to comment, since I am considerably closer to New Hampshire than Starchild is, that from my perspective, the Free State Project is substantially a failure. The people who are leading it, so far as I can tell from here, advocate supporting what they call Liberty Republicans. In my opinion, a Liberty Republican, in comparison with a pink unicorn or a flying saucer, Liberty Republicans are the least likely of the group to exist. And it's just the Republicans have taken control of it, and it is not a positive outcome. Rachel may wish to disagree with me.
Okay, I think Nathan again got in line again next.
Well, we're back or returning.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, the LNC is back.
Well, before you guys go into session, this is important for Rachel. The old system does still exist in the state it existed in 2020. Just ask Ken Molman for access.
Let me know when you're ready, Mr. Secretary.
It appears we still have some people in the breakout room. I'm seeing Mr. Ford. Okay, boss just left, and Mr. Danke.
We can close all rooms.
Oh. Derp. Thank you, Mr. Chair. All right. I'm about to restart the recording.
Karen Ann, can you pass the host to the secretary?
Yep, I'll do that right now.
Thank you for your service.
I'm trying to find, oh, I see it here.
Thank you. All right. Without further ado, I am restarting the recording.
Recording in progress.
Welcome back. It is 9:59 p.m. Eastern, and we have risen from executive session. The motion has been moved and seconded for the budget item. Move to increase the 2026 LNC budget line item legal proactive by $80,000. Is there any discussion? Mr. Thompson?
Has it been seconded?
Yes, it was moved and seconded
Oh,
before.
I'm sorry. I have a motion to amend.
Okay, have you
which I have emailed to the secretary.
Okay.
It is to move to amend such that 40,000 is authorized for existing legal bills in New Mexico and to fund mediation, and to earmark 40,000 for potential legal action against former chair Angela McCardle.
Second.
So I was right.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Limited
Okay, I wasn't.
discussion. Mr.
I was
Longstreth.
right.
Just as a point of personal privilege, could we get that displayed on the screen by the secretary when he has the opportunity?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I believe we are technically out of time on this matter. I move to
Overtime.
extend by 10 minutes.
I don't think we'll need, okay. Is there any is it seconded?
Second.
Any objection to extending by 10 minutes on this item? Hearing no objection, time is extended by 10 minutes.
Mr. Chair, sorry, should I let this vote go before my intended?
No, if you wanted to, yes, because this is an amendment to the amendment, so yes.
Okay,
No,
that's what I thought.
it's not
Thank
an
you. Thank you,
amendment
Ms.
to an
Hogarth.
amendment because the other amendment is to amend something previously
Seeing
adopted.
no
So it's the main
discussion,
motion. It's
Madam
only on
Davis,
the
are you
first
calling the
level of
question?
amendment.
You're muted.
I was not going to, but if there's no one else who wishes to speak, then I can yield.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Secretary, move to a vote. This amends the original motion to read as that 40,000 is authorized to add to it that 40,000 is authorized for existing legal bills in New Mexico and to fund mediation and to earmark 40,000 for potential legal action against former chair Angela McCardle. Okay, proceed with the roll.
Mr. Koffel.
Yes.
Mr. Danke.
Yes.
Mr. Flores.
Yes.
Vice Chair Griffiths.
Aye.
Mr. Hanush.
Yes.
Ms. Hayes.
Yes.
Ms. Hogarth.
Yes.
Treasurer Nebel.
Nay.
Mr. Longstreth.
Yes.
Without knowing the
Ms.
executive
Fintish.
session, it's hard to understand what's going on with these votes.
I will vote aye. Mr. Nikela.
I vote aye.
Ms. Nguyen.
Yes.
Mr. Redpath.
No.
Ms. Robson.
So hard to know what's going on with these votes.
Oops, I screwed that up again. Yes.
Mr. Shaw.
No.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Sorry, Ms. Fintish.
Abstain.
Mr. Chair, the vote is currently 13 in favor, 3 opposed, 1 abstention.
I will abstain. Mr. Thompson, did you have an interrupting motion?
It is not interrupting.
Okay. So the amendment becomes the main or the the motion is amended. If you can put the final language on the screen.
Give me 1 second, Mr. Chair.
I will say that last executive session, we only went over by 12 minutes. That's got to be a record.
We're getting better.
That's right. We're learning to come together as a group. I love it.
Mr. Chair, is the language of the motion acceptable?
Yes, I believe that is accurate. Mr.
Shall I-
Thompson.
I'm going to pull off a combo here. Move to divide.
Okay. How would you like it divided?
At the line break.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. I think a motion to divide requires a majority.
Yes.
That is correct.
Okay. Do you guys
I
need a roll call for
actually
this?
think
Or
this
can I
is
do
divisible
can't do
upon the
hands raised 'cause I
demand of a
can't see
single
everybody.
member.
Exactly.
I think this is
So-
divisible upon the demand of a
personal
second.
privilege?
Ms. Fintish?
Can you just remind us what Mr. Thompson is moving in this moment?
Mr. Thompson is moving to divide the question. So it would split. So we would have two separate votes, one on the 40,000 for New Mexico and another vote for the 40,000.
Mr. Chair, I actually think that a motion to divide, and someone can correct me, once it's been seconded, it's automatic.
No, that's incorrect.
I don't
That's incorrect.
think so. It's not automatic.
I think it is.
It is. Thank you.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
It's not automatic. We need to vote on whether we divide it or not. But we still vote on whether we divide it.
I do believe that is correct. I'm going to recognize
I think
Ms.
so as
Harlos
well.
without objection. Ms. Harlos?
Certainly, Mr. Chair, I'm glad you indulged me. A motion to divide is not automatic. However, it would be your judgment as to whether this motion to divide, if it's on two unrelated topics, is divisible upon the demand of a single member.
And I think the thing that people were referring to is it's not debatable, but it is votable and it would require a majority. I believe that because of the original language, that it is in order for a motion to divide. So it would go to a vote on dividing the question. This is just a vote to determine whether or not the motion will be divided into two parts. Does everybody understand? Is any board member unclear? If you're unclear, please speak now. Okay, Mr. Secretary, go to a roll call vote for the motion to divide.
Mr. Koffel. Mr. Koffel.
Richard, I think so too. I'm not so sure I made myself understood, but I didn't want to wear out my welcome.
He's here. You're muted, Mr. Koffel.
If it isn't on two unrelated items, it's not automatic. They would have to move to this vote.
I guess you'll have to come back.
If it is
All right,
on
Mr.
two
Dakin.
unrelated items, it's divisible upon the demand of a
Yes.
single member. I do think this
Mr.
one
Flores.
is divisible upon the demand of a single member.
Yes.
Vice Chair Griffiths.
Aye.
Mr. Hanush.
Abstain.
Ms. Hayes.
I'm gonna say no.
Ms. Hogarth.
Yes.
Treasurer Neville.
Nay.
Mr. Longstreth.
Yes.
Ms. Fintish.
No.
I will also vote no. Mr. Nikela.
No.
Ms. Nguyen.
No.
Mr. Redpath.
No.
Ms. Robson.
No.
Mr. Shaw.
No.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Koffel.
I'll vote no.
Mr. Chair, the vote is 6 in favor, 10 opposed, 1 abstention.
I will abstain.
So the final vote is 6 in favor, 10 opposed, with 2 abstentions.
So the motion to divide failed. So now we move on to the main motion. Do you want to go back to that screen, Mr. Secretary?
My
Joseph,
apologies.
it's divisible upon the
My,
demand of one
ISDN kicked
member
in.
because it's on two separate topics.
Ms. Robson.
I just want to know what the vote threshold is for this.
12.
Majority.
No,
Thank you. No?
it's 12. It'd be 2/3.
It's not 12. It's 2/3.
Okay, thank you. I
2/3
wasn't sure if it was
isn't always
2/3 or
12.
majority. Thank you.
2/3 isn't 12.
I have
would
a point
be
of
major-
information.
It would be a majority if we had a budget offset for it. A revenue offset. Ms. Griffiths?
Just to confirm,
Madam
as earmarked, is this essentially it's just saying that the only expenditures for New Mexico can be for paying existing bills and pursuing mediation. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
That would mean any additional action to be taken would need to come for additional funding first, and that would have to be fully expressed to the attorneys.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Move to a vote. Go
Mr.
ahead.
Koffel.
Aye.
Mr. Danke.
Yes.
Mr. Flores.
No.
Vice Chair Griffiths.
Pass.
Mr. Noosh.
Yes.
Ms. Hayes.
Yes.
Ms. Hogarth.
No.
Treasurer Neville.
Aye.
Mr. Longstreth.
Pass.
Ms. Fintish.
Pass.
I will vote aye. I will vote something. Let's see. Mr. Nikela.
I vote yes.
Ms. Nguyen.
Yes.
Mr. Redpath.
Yes.
Chuck, 2/3 of the entire
Ms. Robson.
membership's not an option because the policy manual requires
Mr. Shaw.
2/3.
Abstain.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Vice Chair Griffiths.
Aye.
Mr. Longstreth.
Oh, damn this alphabet. I'm going to abstain.
Ms. Fintish.
Abstain.
Ms. Robson.
I'm gonna vote yes.
Mr. Chair, the vote is 12 in favor, 2 opposed, 3 abstentions.
I will go ahead on this and cast a vote. Yes.
So the final vote is 13 in favor, 2 opposed, 3 abstentions.
The motion passes, and I will, for the body or for the board, I will send you guys the specific language that I'll send to the attorneys in New Mexico on that particular item, so that you guys can see exactly the directive that I'm giving them, if that makes sense. Next item on the agenda is announcements. Are there any announcements?
Mr. Chair, I had a question actually.
Yes, Mr. Longstreth.
We'll call it personal privilege. I'm just seeking clarity in process. So with the budget now amended, does this need to go before EC to authorize spending?
Yes, it does.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure I understood correctly. Thank you.
And that would be a point of information.
Yeah, I'm tired. I have a mild fever. I'm sorry.
It's not fine. I'm remembering it
I
forever.
give you a pass this time.
Fair. Thank you, sir.
I don't.
Sorry, Madam Chair or Madam Vice Chair.
Oh,
Shots fired. I'm going off camera now.
Any announcements from the board? Mr. Requero.
All together.
I get everybody else. I got Miss Finch's name like first try, and yours, it's been months now, and I can't get it. I'm sorry. Can I just call you Mr. R?
Just call it Mr. Robeson.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll just say briefly that the Libertarian Party of San Diego is, Libertarian Party of South Dakota. Oh my gosh, now I can't talk. I blame Richard. The Libertarian Party of South Dakota is having a Freedom Fest August 8th at the Palisades State Park in South Dakota around noon, or I think it's a multi-day event. They say it's an annual get-together, barbecue, contest, rallies, candidate outreach, all kinds of cool stuff.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Longstreth.
Yes, just wanted to announce to the group, if you are looking for something to read, I highly recommend the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. The main character, Carl, is an anarchist and very anti-government and quite the fun and entertaining read. So if you're looking for something and you want to talk to somebody about it, whether you're on this board or a member of the public, by all means, I'm really enjoying the series so far and would love to talk to some people about it that are also interested.
I am only into book 7 of,
Fantastic.
I think it's 9. I think there's 9 books now.
The 8th has come out. The
Yeah.
9th and 10th are still remaining. Yep.
But I need to read that soon because they're producing a series. I think
They
on
are.
Peacock. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miss Hayes, then Miss Griffiths, and then Mr. Ford. Miss Hayes.
Yeah, I just want to share, since we have the resolution against the surveillance state here in Kansas. If you haven't seen the news, we worked with the Kansas Justice Institute to sue the city of Wichita on the basis that just the presence of flock cameras is violating the Kansas Constitution, which is the one about unlawful search and seizure. Can't remember exactly which one it is in the state constitution, but that's gotten lots of media attention for our local DFLOC group, which has a lot of people in the LP also working in it. I think Reason picked it up, and we expect this to go pretty far. And I think too that this is something you could look at doing in your own states, especially if you have similar litigation centers. If that's something you're interested in doing, let me know. I can try to make contacts. That was really my contribution to this. Was they were looking for a plaintiff, and I tried to get as many people that could potentially be plaintiffs in the rooms for the case. So very exciting. We expect it to be a long, drawn out process. But what I want to see is that this happen in more states and in more cities. So if you're interested in that, again, all I can do is make the connection and go from there.
Thank you, Ms. Hayes. Madam Vice Chair, Mr. Ford, then me.
Since Mr. Longstreth opened up this can of worms, and because Mr. Chair teased me about this over the phone the other day, I recommend that people read Darkness at Noon by Arthur Koestler, and you need to get this particular translation, which is new. The introduction is by Michael Scamell, I believe. It's very, very good. It's wonderful, and you should read it. And it's not at all pretentious, as the chair asserts. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair, for your completely wrong recommendation.
So good.
Mr. Ford.
Yes, a city called Woonsocket in Rhode Island was so poor, how poor is it, that they were unable to conduct their summer lunch meal program, which was supposed to be federally funded. So who the hell knows where the federal fund went? So they canceled it. Libertarians in Rhode Island, in addition to another organization, said, screw this, we'll take it over. And we've so far done this summer over 1,100 meals at no taxpayer expense, all privately funded and privately conducted with an all-volunteer army. So it proves that libertarians can replace the state. And I would encourage everyone to explore these opportunities, because as these city school systems fall into the ocean, literally, because their incompetence and their waste and their piggishness, libertarians have an opportunity to simply take the ball and run with it. We'll be doing a press conference this week to, a little bit of spike in the football.
This is the type of stuff Pat is
for
good
those who have
at.
supported us in these efforts in the past, we thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. I have a couple of announcements. The first one being, Missouri. The state of Missouri has a primary this Tuesday, and there are a significant number of constitutional amendments on the ballot, including one that would gut their citizen petition process in that state. So if you're interested in
Why
knowing
do
more
the
information, please
statists
go
always
to
want to
the
do
LP
that?
Missouri website, which I believe is lpmo.org. Second, thank you to the board members who have submitted articles for publication by the LNC, specifically Mr. Flores. Thank you for your work, and Ms. Griffiths for tampering with it. Please submit those articles as well to the members. Please, if you have something going on in your community and you would like to submit an article for the LP to publish, please let us know. You can go to, I think it's lpnews@lp.org that you can email it to, or to at least get information on how to submit it. We do have a submission process that I don't remember right now. And I highly recommend reading the original Starship Troopers by Robert Heinlein, one of my favorite books. It's in my top 10. And then we will go to Mr. Hanush, Ms. Robson, and then Mr. Nikela. Mr. Hanush.
Yep, thank you, Chair. And you stole a little bit of my thunder. I was going to mention there are elections going on in Washington State for a couple of our candidates, as well as Florida on the 18th of August. So there are libertarians getting hopefully elected all the time. So vote Libertarian. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hanush. Ms. Robson.
This is, I guess, an announcement, but I just thought that I'd say it because you were talking about LP News. I did submit something for LP News, which is in memory of Paul Lanahan from California. Mr. Lanahan passed this last weekend. He was an amazing person. He worked hard for liberty. And I just wanted to bring him to this meeting in the hopes that we could all take maybe at least 30 seconds of silence to wish him peace because he's gone through so much.
Thank you, Ms. Robson, and please pass along our condolences to his friends and family and colleagues.
Thank you.
Mr. Nikela.
I would be remiss, since we're giving out book recommendations, not to recommend The Fighting Bunch by Chris DeRose. It's the true story of the Battle of Athens, an armed uprising by World War II veterans against a corrupt political machine for the right to vote. And it's the only successful rebellion on U.S. soil since the revolution, if you don't count the Conch Republic. So amazing book, highly recommended. It's a good read.
Thank you, Mr. Nikela. Also, if you are interested in, somebody turn off the vice chair's video feed. If you'd like to know more about the Libertarian Party, you're interested in working with your local county or state affiliate, if you're interested in running for office, please give us a call at 1-800-ELECT-US. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
It's been moved by Mr. Redpath. Is there a second?
Seconded.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Hey.
All those
There's
opposed say
always
nay.
one.
We are adjourned at 10:22. You may stop the recording and broadcast, Mr. Secretary.
I start doing a dramatic rating of darkness at noon now.
Recording stopped.
So the nay vote, whoever that was, you are the one true libertarian.
Yeah.
That would be Keith.
I voted to stay in executive session
That would
forever.
be Mr. Thompson, as always.
Good night. Just wanted to say thank you to everybody that's reached out recently, that's still on the call, that's expressed support of the stuff that's been pushed out, concerning Bears Ears and the different Native American issues that have been talked about. I really do appreciate those of you who have shown support, and I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for writing it.
Yeah. Thank you, Alex. Really appreciate it. It's inspiring to see us reaching out to different demographics than we have in the past, and that is in a large part thanks to, well, I mean, honestly, all thanks to your efforts and people kind of following your leads. So thank you for what you're doing, and keep it up. Let us know where you need some help, and we'll continue to do that.
One thing that didn't, sorry, I was gonna say one thing that didn't get mentioned in the announcement was that we actually had a media contact reach out to us this week to have an interview concerning our Bears Eater statement. So this is getting a lot of positive outreach, and so a lot of positive response, and so I'm very hopeful.
And since we're since we're adjourned now, Mr. Flores has another article up in the torch.media, where he talks about Apache cosmology and the relationship between Apache cosmology and libertarian theory. It's really great, and I recommend that you check it out. I believe it's the top article in the Torch right now. So,
Star Child.
Yeah, Alex, I appreciate your work on this as well. I did have a couple of, well, not so much about the mutualism, but the language about sovereignty.
Okay, guys,
I think,
I'm going to be leaving this meeting.
and I understand in the case of Hoy in particular,
yeah,
there's like a history
so
there of them using that term, but
it's getting
I still
late,
think it's important for
so
us as libertarians to
well,
not
maybe
embrace
not.
the
Maybe I'm
notion
going
of
to
any
stick a
kind of
second.
government or collective sovereignty. Like sovereignty is based on individual rights. That's what it stems from, and thus only individuals, I think, can be truly sovereign, not governments. I just hope
Oh.
going forward, I think it was worth passing the resolution, even though it had that language in it. But going forward, I hope we would try to avoid that and not make it look like libertarians accept the concept of national sovereignty, because that's a very dangerous concept for individual rights and what libertarianism stands for, I think.
I think, I'm going to interject into the conversation here. So I've got two schools of thoughts, which is this is a group of people that existed prior to any concept of the state. These people existed, had their own societal rules, which were voluntary. People could leave. And the notion that we should refrain from recognizing the sovereign rights of a group of people harkens back to the arguments that we shouldn't support same-sex marriage because the state shouldn't be involved in marriage. Well, the state exists. The countries exist. These tribal nations exist, and they've been dealt dirty by our government, by the Canadian government, by governments around the world. So recognizing their right to exist and govern themselves without our country's interference and belligerent laws restricting them, I think is valid, is very, very valid. The same as I believe as long as the state is involved in marriage, that all legal adults consenting should be able to enter into that union on their own. Would I love to see the state out of it? Yes, I would. Would I love to see the state not exist? Absolutely. But as long as it does, it should be honoring the contracts, treaties, and agreements that it's made with other people. And the only way to hold them accountable to that is recognizing the authority and the sovereignty of the group of people that they're maligning and abusing. Ms.
You're
Harlan.
here.
Starchild, if I could, just really quick. I appreciate, and I actually have been meaning to reach out to you because I know we talked in Michigan about like you had a whole list on your laptop of stuff that I wanted to go through with you in more detail. If you want, if you can correspond with me through my LNC email for that if you'd like. I went back and forth on the language.
Say, Alex, I was totally confused. I apologize because you don't sound anything alike, but for some reason I thought it was Starchild talking, and I was like, why does Starchild have an LNC email still? So I apologize. Yes, that's absolutely correct. I apologize, Mr. Flores.
No worries. I was just gonna say, I kind of went back and forth on a lot of that language, and like it went through several working groups before I submitted it for the LNC. I landed on that language more so because and it's something that like I kind of wanted to include in there, but it was just getting lengthy as it was. But like even something like as much as like the tribal councils are not structures of government that we formed as a tribe. Those were imposed on us by the federal government. And so when I speak to the sovereignty of these tribes, they're represented as a nation currently because that's just the structure that's been imposed on them. But if left to our traditional structures, we would be far more clan based and decentralized and very, very localized, much more in alignment with what I feel like libertarians like share with as principles. The clan-based structure is voluntary. Families are free to come and to join or leave as they choose, depending on the leadership, the direction of the leadership. And so I'm kind of like trying to figure out how to incrementally introduce libertarians to these concepts because as I learn about them, like I'm finding that there's also like there's not a lot of English words to describe the systems of governing that these groups have operated under for well over 1,000 years. And so I share your apprehension a bit about endorsing broadly national sovereignty, but I think in this case it was just more to acknowledge something that even the federal government has acknowledged themselves, but then they completely ignore it. So I don't know if that helps, but to explain further.
Yeah, I think I believe it's possible to language that fully recognizes tribal governments as on par with other existing governments in the world, and I support that. And I agree with you, Evan, that as long as the state is involved in marriage, it's completely legitimate to say that people of same sex, or as many people as want to be involved in a marriage contract, should have absolutely the same equal legal standing. But I don't think that that means that we have to say the institution of marriage is good and valid. And similarly, I don't think we have
Is
to
there any
say that the
conversation where
institution of
Starchild does
national
not try
sovereignty
to
is good
dominate?
or valid. I think
That's
those are
what I
two
want to
separate
know.
things, and I think we absolutely should avoid using the word sovereignty in a way that means anything other than individual sovereignty. I think there are alternatives in the language, and I'd be happy to help people come up with those for crafting any future statements or whatever. But no, I think we can walk that line, and I think it's important to do so because there's all kinds of people that want all kinds of group rights or group recognition, or to legitimize the idea of a majority rule, a government, exercising control over individuals in ways that violate the non-aggression principle. And that's tied up legally with the concept of national sovereignty. I mean, it comes from the idea of the king being the sovereign, that he's the only one that has rights. Everybody else is just a subject, That's what sovereignty derives from, the concept legally.
Thank you, Starchild. Ms. Harlos?
Sorry, I was muted. This will just be very quick. I appreciate the fact that you guys did exercise decorum in this meeting. It was so much more pleasant in the second half, and I would really encourage the LNC to do so on the LNC list. And I had texted Stephen, but I did want to say this because I saw his post. Please do not punish the rest of the party membership by limiting LNC discussion because there is one person who can't behave themselves. Take care of that one person and do not punish the hard-fought transparency on the LNC list. Please. I know your intent, Stephen. I trust that your intent was good, but I'm begging you, don't do that. Take care of the problem. Thank you.
I'm not sure what you're referring to with Stephen. I don't think that there's any appetite for removing the public list as a general, or restricting it or taking it back to the way it was before. I don't think there's an appetite to do that in my opinion.
If I could clarify, Mr. Chair, there was just because you were in the meeting and I'm doing a million things. I'm sure Mr. Nicola spoke out of frustration. Mr. Martin, of course, took what happened at the meeting onto the LNC list, and Mr. Nicola posted that he was considering a motion to restrict the business list to just motions and votes only. And I'm just encouraging you guys, please don't do that. I understand the frustration.
I would consider that motion out of order. Because there's already a JC ruling on that. So Nicola, if you're here, don't do that. You can, but I'm going to rule it out of order. Sorry, buddy. Granted, the body can overrule me, but it's
Chuck, I'm going to answer what you said in chat, but I'm waiting to see if anything else interesting happens in this meeting.
Hold on one second. Requero.
Hey.
Holy shit, he nailed it.
I actually am going to go out of here because I need to use the bathroom.
Yeah, you just got to roll your...
Okay, left the meeting. So I am going to, hold on, let me pull up my screen here. Why isn't it, hold on, window. What I want is scenes. There we go. Let's go back to here. Okay, so I want to put Chuck's thing here. Same accusation could be levied against you. Yes, in certain contexts. So I perhaps should have been clear. It was obvious that the chair was taking turns between people, and Mr. Flores responded, but he had already called upon me, and Starchild just jumps in without getting recognized. and he talks over people. And when there's an orderly process, unless someone really lays down the hammer, he doesn't follow it. And you could go back through LNC meetings. I didn't jump out of turn, and I don't jump out of turn in public comment. I don't jump out of turn when we're in a formalized setting. Star Child absolutely does that constantly, and that's why I've lost complete and utter patience with him. So since I do have strong opinions and like to talk a lot, which is an absolutely fair observation, I just started my own stream, and here I could talk as much as I want. But when you're in a group with other people who have turns and stuff, it is completely narcissistic, and I just can't even explain the way I feel about people that jump ahead of people like that and think that, well, and if you see me doing that ever, call me on it, because that is just inconsiderate behavior. And I don't think I do that. I do have strong opinions in a more informal settings. It's different. But things like that, just, and that's why during the intermissions, I take a very strong hand, because people have told me, and I can observe with my own eyes, that they don't feel like they can talk, that he just jumps on every single thing they say and like talks for 5 minutes and they feel overwhelmed. So that's my opinion. People don't, I have a strong opinion. Like, let me put what Chuck said. Some people start, I have a strong opinion on this, but I save it for my show at this point, or my Twitter feed. But if you catch me doing what now I've explicated, call me out on it, because sometimes I could be unaware, and I do find that kind of behavior rude, and I would want to be called out on it. Okay, now it's it, Joe. I'm going now. I hope you guys have an awesome night. Couple more JC shows probably coming up. And I will see you guys later. And yeah, so Chuck clarified here for a second. Yeah, I wasn't clear. I meant it as being rude and interrupting. That's what I meant it as. And I'll say someone else who does this, and I don't mind, and it's in an informal context. So let me, for instance, the wall of text that Andy Jacobs does over on Third Party Report and steers the conversation to whatever his particular obsession is, rather than what people are actually talking about. I've had it with that stuff in the party. I have zero tolerance with that. And again, you catch me doing it, call me on it. But waiting your turn and then saying something that's relevant to the conversation, yeah, libertarians do that. That's strong opinions. But deflecting, or when people and just burying people in walls of AI text. Now, Starchild doesn't do AI. And let me say something very flattering about Starchild. He's brilliant. He's one of the best writers. He's a very sharp thinker. But my opinion's my opinion. I'm an old curmudgeon now, and I can have it. And, he's called me out plenty of times as well. So I think we're both even on this. Okay, now I can go. And I do hope you guys have an awesome night. Bye-bye.
You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business, not because they want